What's good, y'all? Welcome back. We are back to episode 130 of the No Name Wrestling Podcast. And man, all I gotta say is what a wonderful weekend. My birthday was yesterday. Had a really solid night one. Night two, I think looking at the card, we were like, it could be better, but WWE, they usually never give us two nights in a row of just good
True.
wrestling. They usually don't. And they over delivered. We're gonna get into everything. The opener, right? Because at first, I posted a TikTok about us predicting, and within 2 hours, it didn't matter. So we're gonna get into the opener, the ladder match, the main event, of course. We probably only won't talk about one thing. So first off, before we get into anything, y'all make sure y'all do what I tell y'all to do all the time. It's four things. One, if you haven't subscribed, go to the No Name Wrestling Podcast right now and subscribe. We're over 1,000. We're trying to get to 1,500. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe. You got friends that like wrestling? Send them the pod. Let them know this is the best place to hear wrestling convos, wrestling debates. Like the stream. Comment if you're watching on replay. Share it to everybody. Share it to your mama too. Tell your mama, hey, don't you love your mama? Bless her with some good wrestle talk. Oh, what in the world happened? I guess I'm on my own now. Don't know what happened. Oh, okay, he back. We all good. I would have thugged it out. We all good. So make sure y'all subscribe and chant. Second thing I need y'all to do, if you aren't following the social media platforms at this point, go follow them. No Name Wrestling on TikTok and on Instagram. We posting consistently. We get you want all you didn't get a chance to see the show. Well, if you want to hear Lynn be nasty and Malik be optimistic and me be devil's advocate, Jade be pessimistic on Triple H and Nate crash out, y'all go follow the social media platforms, man. You already know what it is. Third thing I need y'all to do, if you want to be a member and you want to be a vacant, go be a member with No Name, man. Go to No Name Wrestling Podcast. Go sign up to be a member. And the fourth and definitely most important thing to do is be a G-Maniac. Y'all see the number 1-800-G-Maniac. I promise you I didn't kick him off the screen for that. I don't know where he went. I don't know what happened. I don't know where he went. I guess Lynn's having technical difficulties. But y'all tap in, man. Well, I'm going to hope Lynn shows back up soon. But here is the thing. Well, first, I want to give credit to WWE where it is due. I want to give credit to WWE where it is due. Lynn, I don't know what's going on with your stuff.
My mic was tripping, bro. My bad. I had to fix it. Once I plugged it back in, I couldn't switch it on without leaving. But hell yeah, my bad. We good.
Jeez, man, lock in.
But yeah, like you said,
Mo was here, bro. Almost felt like Mo was here, bro.
My bad.
Sorry, Mo was messing it up. But
like you said, night two was fire, bro. I cannot lie. As you know, a fan of night one, I kind of poo-pooed on night two. They over delivered. I'll say that because we had very low expectations. All I really wanted was Chelsea Green to win and Chad Gable to win. But then you get Kevin Owens, Roman and Seth do a banger job, and I can't complain.
Right. So I think obviously, like I said, I'm gonna give them credit because WWE usually does not give us two nights back to back. They have not I don't think they've done it ever. Given us two, maybe 38. Maybe 38. Maybe. The one in Dallas. Maybe you could, but 39. They gave us good main events. But we also had the Final Testament versus the Pride.
Yep.
You know what
don't talk about 41. 41 and 42. Like
oof. But SummerSlam, again, night one was solid. We get to night two. Let's just go down the card. Yesterday, we started with the main event. Today, we're going to start with the opener. Man, so obviously, as a Finn Balor guy, I was just intrigued because I didn't think Sammy was taking this match. I know Finn Balor name used to be Finn Balor for the longest, but something just told me in my heart, Sammy's taking this pin today. We get to the match. I kind of rewind because I was out at the store. I was like, if they open, I'll catch it, right?
I had to rewind as well. I
rewind, and then I see Nick Aldis come out. I'm like, Oh, Gunther gonna be in the match. That's kind of crazy. Even though he did get
He
screwed,
deserved
so
it.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, but I was like, that's weird that you just gonna. He wrestled yesterday, so that's weird that we're gonna do a triple threat. But whatever, cool. And then he's like, hold on, there's one more. Genuinely, I'm shocked. I'm literally trying to think, like, who would they put in this match? And so I'm trying to think of all the people Cody and CM Punk been feuding with on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm literally scrambling. I'm like, I mean, they could do Johnny, but that would be weird to just all of a sudden.
Part of me thought Drew.
Up.
Part of me thought Drew. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even think about Drew. I was just like, maybe Johnny, but I'm like scrambling. And then I was like, who was in that fatal 4-way? Like, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, who was in the fatal 4? Blah, 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 blah. Kevin Owens' music came out. It came on the thing. Oh my gosh. I was like, yep, scrap everything I said. Finn, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
KO needs this now.
The perfect
Give
person.
this to Kevin Owens now. And I called it. Oh, Kevin Owens is back? He's for sure pinning Sami Zayn. For sure pinning Sami Zayn.
And Sami's going to be pissed, bro. He's going to be pissed on SmackDown. I'm ready.
I'm going to give credit to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett in this sense. I know it kind of got annoying for some people. Wade Barrett was really harping on the fact, yo, Sami's getting screwed again. Why would they announce his last minute? And Michael Cole was like, hold on now. Finn Balor's getting screwed too.
Yeah, true.
Finn Balor's getting screwed too. He wasn't prepared for this either. And so the match, it could have went longer. And we'll get on to the match links because it's a rehashing point, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that afterwards. But main thing, Kevin Owens, number one contender. Immediately give CM Punk a legit threat. I would not be upset. I would not be shocked. And honestly, I would be happy
if Kevin Owens
actually beat CM Punk. I wouldn't be mad at it.
I agree.
I really wouldn't. Because that's just another interesting thing you can add.
Another wrinkle.
Ironically, the now better show in SmackDown. Well, at least for the main event. Bro, at least for the main event scene.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for
it's
weeks.
Amazing what happens when Cody's not champion and CM Punk is on the show.
Gosh.
All of a sudden,
oh my gosh.
SmackDown is a better show than Raw. That's just something I noticed. SmackDown been a better show than Raw now ever since CM Punk went over there. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
But that CM Punk, that's an interesting dynamic you can do.
That's gonna cook.
I wouldn't be mad if Kevin Owens is like I would not be mad if CM Punk is not walking into Mania as champion. We already did Cody CM Punk. That was your WrestleMania main event. So if CM Punk is not walking into Mania as champion, I'm not mad at it. You still have the Sami Zayn aspect that technically that is kind of fucked up. That you just all of a sudden didn't tell him and just decided to do this the next day after your this clearly came about because you was about to resign as GM.
I'm not caping for my boy. Don't do that. But I'm gonna say this: if KO wins, are we getting Sami KO? Because I can see it. I can see it at
probably
at Survivor Series.
It's probably inevitable, but I don't want to see that shit. I'm over that. We just had a freaking street fight or whatever, before he got hurt.
True.
And then so somebody just said it too. So look, let me just lay out SmackDown's main event title scene.
It's high.
Let's just lay this out real quick. CM Punk, your champion. Cody Rhodes, who just got screwed. Randy Orton is now back healthy. Kevin Owens is your number one contender. Sami Zayn, who's been getting screwed. Gunther's in the mix. And you have Finn Balor, who, he was in the match too.
And Damian Priest out here complaining to Triple H.
Okay. Damian Priest, I don't really care about. Did they just lose the tag titles? I don't care about that.
Yeah, nah, it was a DQ, but they about to lose. They about to lose it to Haku's sons, bro.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I love this right here because, and that's another thing they need to get back to also. I miss when matches on the card had some stakes that wasn't just a title.
Facts.
Number one contenders matches especially on a SummerSlam is important because now going in, I don't gotta wait till Friday to be like, oh, what's the next route? I know what the next route is, and there's still a bunch of plates spinning. So that is an elite 6 in your main event for the time being. And any one of them winning a championship, I wouldn't be shocked. If Randy gets 15, cool.
Wouldn't be shocked, yeah.
If I mean, Cody's probably gonna get it back eventually, but I hope he does it as a heel. Cody
Yes.
as a heel doing it would be great.
Yes.
CM Punk is your champion right now. There's still a lot of legs in that run. Sami Zayn is in the mix. Finn Balor's there, and now Kevin Owens, who honestly
should get
most people would agree should probably be the one to get it off of Punk.
I agree.
So I love this opener because it has now literally established your main event scene for the foreseeable. What are we in August? And we got to get to April. So for the next 8 months, this is your main event scene. And you're going to sprinkle in the little Damian Priest tears or maybe even a Royce Keys there. Or
when Drew gets back.
yeah, Drew, even though he'll probably go to Raw because
they do.
I don't want to see Drew near Cody again, so please go to Raw.
But damn, do we want to see Drew near Roman?
It's been a long time. I can do it. I can live with it. It's been a while. Cody and Drew was just on my screen.
Yeah, fair.
Drew and CM Punk were just on my screen.
True.
I can live with, and then, there's other aspects of Raw too that we can see. So I think this was once they started off like this for night 2, I said, okay.
Yeah, we cooking.
Night 2 finna bang. Night 2 finna hoop.
100%.
So what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so like you said, Kevin Owens coming to this makes SmackDown that much more interesting. Like, I think he should win. And for me, I'm excited from a promo aspect. Like, CM Punk and Kevin Owens are about to cook on the mic. I can't wait for Friday. It just makes Friday that much more interesting. And then, like you said, we got a blood feud with Randy and Cody because Cody's about to not take this shit with Randy, so we have them locked up for the time being. What's Sami Zayn going to do in all this? Is he going to try to mess with Kevin? Is he going to try to mess with CM Punk? Where is he at in all this? Like you said, is Johnny Gargano going to get up? Because somebody, I forget who called him out on Twitter, but a wrestler said enough, and it was a SmackDown wrestler, and they put it on their Twitter or Instagram. I forget who it was, but Johnny might get a little feud. All I'm saying is Friday is interesting, and it starts with Kevin Owens, and I can't wait.
Right. So,
wait, where does Gunther fit in this?
He'll be I mean, he'll be in the mix, but he'll probably end up. It'll probably be another feud, to be honest. He'll probably have a side feud, maybe with Finn Balor, because they did have a little stare down.
Oh yeah, they did have a little beef. You're right.
Yeah, so I could see that being. A side note, like a little feud, just to give Gunther something to do.
Yeah,
right. Because Sammy's the one that got pinned. You know how that's gonna go. Shoot, we might get a Sami Zayn Nick Aldis match. Fuck it. They already put him in the ring. I mean, I really wish he would have stayed like a full time and just got a new GM, but fine. I'm not tripping.
And Triple H said he could get back in the ring. It's just it depends on if the story's right.
It'll probably be Sami Zayn.
I can see it.
I honestly, that might be a Saturday night main event. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It would cook, bro. It would cook. And I do agree with the comment. Money in the Bank has to come from Raw because my God, I don't know what Raw's gonna do now. Right now, with
now that's SummerSlam. We'll get to future predictions for Money in the Bank later. Chat, keep sending in. Send your super chats if you got some thoughts. Oh, I think there was one that I forgot.
Yeah, we do have some.
Yeah. Hold on. From Rob. Shout out Rob, man. Again, hey, come vacant, man. Come join the group of vacant, man. We back daily appreciation, man. Boom. So that was our opener. I don't really have a star rating. Oh, that's the other thing I want to talk about. Shout out Nate. Shout out Malik, shout out Mo, shout out Jay, who couldn't be here today. I know they most likely feel the same way. So let me get into this a little bit. When Triple H was running NXT and we had our takeovers were usually about 5 matches, sometimes 6. Great wrestling, great stories, and they all got plenty amount of time. Even if you look at NXT now, when they actually do PLEs, because I know it's kind of less than they have before, great stories, great wrestling, everybody gets time. I've never cared about Hank and Tank as much as I did when they won the tag titles.
True.
And that's because they got time to tell that story. Right? A lot of people have complained about the short matches I think not necessarily for SummerSlams and Manias, like for other, like even your B shows, people have complained about how short the match cards are, this, that, and the third. The problem is not how short the match cards are. The problem is how short the matches are.
That's the issue.
It's gotten progressively worse since they got to ESPN. But even on Peacock, if you're only going to have 6 matches on a one-night PLE, I think that's a perfect amount. I actually love the fact that this show started at 5 and we were done by 8. I love it, personally. For me, though, if you're going to do that many matches, there should be literally zero reason. There's not a reason you can tell me that these guys can't get 15 minutes each match.
Facts.
Let's just break it down mathematically. If you have 6 matches on the card and each match bare minimum goes 15, let's just say each one hits 15. That's 6 matches. That's an hour and a half of wrestling. Even if you want to put 15 minutes of ads in between each one, hour and a half of wrestling, hour and a half of ads, you still get your 3 hours.
Yep.
Even if you want to do that, mind you. Even if you want to do that. So take into account the ads, which are pretty much like 5 minutes between each match because ESPN is just ridiculous. Ads are 3 minutes. The entrances take their time. And then you have the matches themselves. So my logic is, if you have 6 matches on a card and your limit is 3 hours, let's just say they said you can only do 3 hours. There should be no reason you're not bare minimum hitting 15 matches per. No reason you're not hitting 15 minutes per match. Because your ads, even though we complain about the MOD, they're not going to be 15 minutes long. You're counting your entrances. That should be bare minimum. Right. If you only have 6 matches on your card. I get the fatal 4-way. I can even understand if maybe, hey, Kevin Owens just got here. Let's not do too much. 8 minutes?
Crazy.
Danhausen and Dom, I'm cool with that being 6 minutes. I don't care. That's a comedy match. Don't care about that. The ladder match, though, you can't give that 15?
Chad Gable and Penta, bro.
You can't give that 15? You know what I mean? Like, that's my logic behind it. If you can't give that 15 minutes, that's a problem. So, again, I don't think the match card length itself is an issue, because I love the fact that this show was done at 8 o'clock my time, Central Time. I remember when pay-per-views used to go from 6 to 11. Shoot, we talk about AEW going until 1 in the morning, but shoot, at least I know I'm going to watch some elite matches when I see it. There should be no reason we not getting 15 minutes for most matches. Now, maybe not all, because, like, depending on who you got, like, I don't want to see Jay wrestle for 15 minutes. I don't want to see Dom and Danhausen wrestle for 15 minutes. I don't want to see, a throwaway. I don't want to see the Bellas and Paige and AJ Lee go 15 minutes. But Penta and Chad Gable can't get 15? A fatal 4-way with one of the 4 of the best workers in your company can't get 15 minutes? That's an issue for me.
I agree. Go ahead, Lynn.
I agree with him 100%. That's a problem, bro. Like, I'm glad that Roman and Seth had the time that they had. Great main event, but like, I expected more from Penta and Chad Gable. Like, it didn't go long enough for me. Like, right when they started to cook, it's like it's over, and then the finish felt abrupt. That's the thing with these short matches. The finishes always feel abrupt.
Yes, like one of those. I don't know, man. It's one of those. I guess new things we have to adapt to in this new era. They got the ESPN, so they got it. Mainly only happens with the big 4, like the bigger PLEs. The B-level PLEs is only 5 matches, so they got to extend the times out. But
they don't even do it with that.
Mania and SummerSlam. Well, most of those matches are getting 15. Most of those times, those shows run like 4 hours. So, with SummerSlam and WrestleMania this year, we had a lot of matches that were under 15 minutes. Besides, obviously, the main events, most of them, and it's just like the main events usually deliver, but your undercard has to be somewhat presentable. You know what I mean? Like, right. You want to get into it. So I mean, it's something that I haven't fully accepted yet, but it kind of tells me that that's kind of the direction that we're headed into. It's going to be ads, no promo packages before matches, besides the main event, obviously. And then the main events are going to have the longest time, with like, Roman, Seth, Cody Punk, even though Cody Punk was in the main event last night, that was almost 30 minutes, so, those type of superstars are probably going to get that type of time, so it's like, that's fine. It's not an issue, but it's like, I do feel there are certain things that could have went on a little longer. I wish there were certain matches that could have had more time for me. But I think SummerSlam overall though was a success. I think it was combining.
Oh,
Both
it
nights,
definitely was.
combining both nights together. It was a good show. It was a good PLE. It was presentable. You had some returns. Most of the matches were good. I don't even really think there was a really really bad match. Like there were some matches I didn't care about, but I don't think there was a match that was like terrible. There were some matches that, whatever.
Yeah.
But
like Dom and Danhausen getting a video package is crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Dom and Danhausen, when I walked away and I saw they got a video package, I said, "Are we serious right now?"
Yeah,
Dom and Danhausen get a video package,
bro. Listen, I said this. I don't know. I don't know if I said this in the chat. They love Danhausen more than LNA, bro. They are like fully. They are fully behind Danhausen, but he has a role that just fits him because everybody knows his role. I think he understands his role. WWE understands his role. Like he's not going to be your world champion. He might not even have to hold a championship, for being honest, but he's going to get TV time. He's getting reactions. He's a goofy comedy gimmick. You know what I mean? So it's like,
in fairness to Danhausen,
they protected him too. He hasn't even lost a match yet.
Yeah, he's undefeated, bro.
In fairness to Danhausen, they do go crazy every time it comes out. Every time.
His gimmicks, it's working. It's working. Yeah. I mean, it's got.
He's a top seller, bro. He sells more than Roman and Cody. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah, he the little kids. I ain't gonna lie to you. And once you start getting the little kids, you're pretty much solid for me.
Yeah, he's in there, man. He's
in
there.
Could he get a title run? Not a world title run, like just some title around Halloween. I'm just saying
he can get the speed title or the 24/7 title.
He might get a US or IC title. I'm not gonna lie. He might get one.
Around Halloween, bro, when they start wearing the mask and we get
it would be great if he found himself a tag partner. Find himself a little.
See that I can believe more than a singles.
He got to find himself a tag. Like him and R-Truth would be crazy, bro. That could be. That could be.
And I would love to see how creatively they can find accidental ways to win every match. That would
just like
that would be very very. I would get behind that. I do want to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I would say like just like ways of like R-Truth, fucking up something and Danhausen cursing. Like that would be some good entertainment stuff. That would be good entertainment. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I do want to talk about this next match because I have seen a lot of people hating on the decision, and I actually don't. Yesterday, me and Lynn talked about how when we were talking, and Mo too, we were talking about going into this match of Trick and Corbin. Obviously, we all feel like it should be Melo, right? I feel like even though Melo's already had a reign, we feel like it got cut short, and we feel like there's still a lot of legs left in Melo. However, Trick is not a babyface. I don't know why they keep wanting to make him a babyface because this company has literally shown me multiple times that they can make good heels and the heels get cheered. Yeah. I saw Roman do it for years. Even when Stone Cold was a heel, when The Rock was a heel, niggas get cheered, right? It is what it is. If you're that big of a star, you're gonna get cheered.
Right.
So the first issue that I feel like they're misstepping with Trick is trying to turn him babyface. That's the first issue I have. Second, Baron Corbin winning this match wasn't an issue for me, especially because y'all know my logic. And if y'all are new to this chat, there's 142 people in here, 151 like the stream. But if you're new to this chat and you haven't heard me say this, I absolutely hate more than anything in wrestling when you debut a new character, a new gimmick, a new anything, and they lose right away. I hate that. I think that is the quickest way to literally waste your time. If you're going to do all this work and debut somebody coming in, especially somebody who's been there before, and Baron Corbin has talked about how he felt like there was people trying to sabotage him because when they sent him to NXT, they sent him down there to die.
True.
And he got over. The Wolf Dogs got over, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. I missed that. Anyways, when you re-debut or debut a new gimmick and they lose right away, that is the quickest way to tell an audience, oh, you don't need to care about this guy. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So when Baron Corbin debuted and started beating people up and, basically saying, I want that U.S. title, yes, he should win that match. He should win that match because if he loses right away, who in this chat, online, who cares about Baron Corbin after that? Let's be real. Let's just be honest. Who cares about Baron Corbin if he just loses to Trick?
To jump in, I'm actually on G side. I actually like the decision of Baron Corbin winning. For two reasons. One, I agree with Baron Corbin coming back. If he had lost this match, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, he just came back to lose." That's his position again. He's Matt Cardona. He just came back just to
literally.
He just came back just to be a loser. Which
just
I mean,
to be a body.
That could be fine for him, but it's like you could do something with Baron Corbin this round. And two, I think Trick Williams is potentially could be in the conversation of Money in the Bank. That's right around the corner. Like I think he could be in that conversation of they might take the title off him because they might want to be like, all right, we got Money in the Bank, got a whole year to do something with it. We can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like Trick Williams is over. Like he has something that they could potentially want to look at as we could level him up. It should have been Melo. We all know Melo should have been in that position, but for some reason, they ain't rocking with Melo right now. Don't know why, but they just don't see him as somebody that they value right now. So going with what we got, Baron Corbin winning to me made the most sense because if he had lost his first match back, it kind of just feels like, all right, well, he's just back to do what he was doing before. But now you actually give people a reason to at least seem like he feels relevant because now he's the U.S. champion. And like I said, Melo potentially could move to Money in the Bank. I'm not saying he'll win, but I think he'll be in that match. And I think he has to be considered an option of a favorite to win that match. So Melo, and if Trick doesn't win Money in the Bank, he can win the title back. He like there's still things you could do with them. Like I don't think Trick is done. I do feel like Baron Corbin winning though was a very good decision because now we can at least see how they really feel about Corbin because this run as champion can tell you a lot if they actually put time into it and he's doing things that actually make the title feel relevant and they actually give him a good presentation, all that stuff. I don't know, man. Baron Corbin could have, maybe coming back was a good move for him. Don't know yet, but if he had lost off Rip though, I would have immediately felt like, yeah.
Especially because when you look at, somebody said Baron Corbin didn't need this win. Or a Trick needed it more than Corbin. Somebody said something like that. And I was like, absolutely not, because Trick is going to be fine. Trick is going to come out, whoop that Trick. And just like you said, Malik, before we started this live, there was a bunch of people in the chat already saying Trick's winning Money in the Bank. Now, do I think Money in the Bank should go to somebody on Raw? Yes, please. Because as we said earlier,
it's not Trick, it should be Braun Breaker to me.
Right. But as we said on earlier, SmackDown is now the better show by far. It took 3 weeks and CM Punk winning that title. SmackDown's main event clears, and their mid card is probably same tier. Chad Gable just won, so we'll see how that looks. But probably same tier, if not better.
Baron Corbin theme ain't terrible. That's an okay theme, bro. What y'all talking about? People say this thing is ass.
I guess.
I think it's cool. I think people just missed the End of Days. It's cool, but
End of Days is a better one, but
I didn't dislike it.
It's whatever.
It's cool.
So,
it's cool.
Lynn, how you feeling about Baron Corbin winning this match?
I think y'all convinced me. I think, especially Malik with Trick being Money in the Bank, I could definitely see that for sure. And it's like, let's see what you can actually do now. Like, all right, we gave you a little title run, cool. Now let's see what you do without the title. And I guess I'm interested to see this Baron Corbin feud with Melo now.
Why not? That's a better dynamic than Baron Corbin and Trick.
True.
I mean, he potentially could do something with Melo, yes, but I don't know. I just don't think they care about Melo, bro. They haven't given me a reason to feel like they care about him at all. Like, they've taken him away from PLE matches that he could have been in. They've sacrificed him in spots, for other people. It's just like
Ilya's still in catering, by the way.
True.
Yeah, and like Ilya been gone for a minute, bro. Like, I think Corbin gonna be beating like the Matt Cardonas and shit at first. He gonna be beating the nobody right now. That's what he's gonna be doing.
Oh shit!
And then also too, to comment on Trick, and Lynn, I feel like the past 2 episodes we've been on, I feel like I've been going hard against your guys.
You have, bro.
But when it comes to Trick, bro, this Negro better learn some in-ring IQ and better learn how to be a little bit more consistent because they're trying to turn him babyface. And we already saw how that went once he won the title. I think the build-up on the way, perfect. Ilya was a great contributor into making Trick look as good as he did. I think Ilya did a better job making Trick look like a babyface than Melo ever did. If I'm just being real.
That's a fact.
If I'm just being real. So I know he can do it. But now especially if they still gonna be putting him with Yachty, and especially the way he came out. He won his first WrestleMania talking mad stuff like, hey, it don't matter. You're Mr. Can't get the job done. Same That's who he is. That's
Yeah.
Trick and A. That's the best version of Trick. The
I
best
definitely
version of Trick is not going to wow you once the bell rings.
don't want him to be a
he wins
baby
Money in the
face.
Bank. I hope he wins Money in the Bank, and I hope he stays a heel. But I'm gonna be real with you, Lynn, because you tried to tell me, Malik, and I think Nate, who was on the show as well, you tried to tell us that Trick was right up under Oba.
Look, Malik
Brother.
face, bro.
He's still not even under Braun. He's under Braun still for me, bro.
Bro, he under Braun. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if look. I'm not gonna disrespect Trick too much, but I'm gonna just be real, bro. I think he has a chance. I think if they give him Money in the Bank, it's not a bad decision because you can hold it for a year. We just got you talking about how SmackDown's main event scene. Nobody needs to hold that title for long. Malik, I know you weren't here, but that main event scene is stacked now. If Kevin Owens wins it off of Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event or Money in the Bank, no issue. Randy's still there. If he wins it, no issue. Cody, we went through all that. If Trick sneaks away a little win because of Money in the Bank, that's great. I'm going to tell you right now, though, that there's a very high chance, though, that Money in the Bank can ruin him, bro. And let me tell you why.
It could.
If they don't handle it correctly, precise timing, and if he doesn't start being better in the ring, because if you're the main event or the world champion, they're going to expect you to put 20-minute matches on. They're going to expect you to be intriguing, and I ain't seen Trick have a good match yet. That made me care. There's not been a single PLE match Trick has been on where I cared. As long as he won. WrestleMania, I just cared that he won. But there hasn't been one that I cared yet. And they're even watering down the mellow Trick feud that we were supposed to get. That I thought there was no way they can mess this up on the main roster. So I hope your boy figure it out because
yeah. Let's
he gotta swim. He gotta swim, bro. They're giving him if they give him these opportunities, he's gotta swim. But I don't want to see him as a babyface. I really don't, like, at all.
Let's talk about two things, and then there's something else I want to talk about that happened from last night because I wasn't here. We'll talk Chelsea Green becoming a women's champion. I fully can't get into it only because it's the interim championship, bro. And when I hear that, it just makes me feel like she's just the placeholder champion until Rhea comes back. Now, if she beats Rhea when she comes back and they do that, then I'm all for it. Then I'm like, all right, I'm behind this. But Chelsea Green has been one of the best pure talents they've had in that women's division, and she deserves this and much more. But the interim champion isn't a real champion. You're the placeholder champion until the actual champion the company wants to come back and be the champion. And when Rhea comes back, I just don't see Chelsea beating Rhea. I guess you could say this counts as an accolade for Chelsea Green, but I feel like she deserves more than interim. Chelsea Green should be the legit 100% champion. Like, there shouldn't be an interim attached to it. She should be the champion that they're going to use, even if it's not long term. You know, like, she should be the champion they're going to use to push in the division. But for me, the reason I can't get into it because it doesn't feel authentic, and I feel like I know the timeline of the end. She's just champion until one person comes back, and when that person comes back, we're taking it back from you. That's literally how I feel, which is making me feel like I can't fully get into it because it just feels like a happy accident, which sometimes it happens in professional wrestling, but this was a happy accident that happened for you. We're going to give you the interim championship, and then when Rhea comes back, we're taking that bitch from you immediately. That's really how this feels. I hope, and I really hope, that they'll have the guts to have Chelsea actually beat Rhea via roll-up or something, but WWE sticks with the same top stars in this modern era. It's Cody, it's Roman, it's CM Punk, it's Rhea, it's, Bianca when she comes back, it's Becky, and, you could throw even Jade in there now because she's been featured a lot and stuff. It's like, it's the same interchangeable people they have as their top champions that they want to be their top champions. Chelsea Green doesn't have to be one of their top, priorities, you could say, but I feel like she deserves more than an interim reign just to hold it for somebody else who's coming back that they're going to want to be the champion. And there's nothing wrong with Rhea Ripley, but this doesn't help her case of people looking at her, of the favoritism being played and people getting sick and tired of her being in that spot. It's like Rhea's going to get pushed no matter what. She's one of the top stars in the company. Like, there isn't many people you can name that are over her as far as popularity, right? Like, she's earned that spot. But Chelsea Green has earned something like this, and I would want to see more out of this than an interim reign where it's just like, oh, she just got this moment just to be the interim champion, and then she had to give it up because Rhea came back, and it just
So
really felt like the here nigga damn.
So can I be a little bit devil's advocate? And I'm gonna bring up 2 examples, even though it's a little bit different. I'm gonna bring up 2 examples. Yes, because they stripped Rhea of the title before, I feel like we could have done it here as well. I mean, they did it. And when Liv and Rhea faced each other at SummerSlam, they gave Liv the win, right? I mean, granted, it was a good swerve. I think Dom and Rhea had ran its course, and I think it was the perfect time to have Dom really just go back to being true heel and stick with Liv. I thought that was perfectly fine. But they still picked Liv. They still chose Liv to win that match. Granted, they gave it to Rhea later, but nevertheless, I think that was the match. Like we say, we talk about caring about people. If Liv would have not won that match,
true,
Liv would not be in the position she's in now. She would not be taken. She would not have been taken serious, in my personal opinion, as she is now.
You're not wrong.
Now, when I look at the way this SummerSlam played out and what they've done as of late, what I'm hoping they do, and what I think they will do and probably try to trade credit for, the more I kind of look at this situation, the more I feel like the interim title was on purpose, or a pivot to now use it as part of it. Here's why I say that. Like I said, we brought up the Liv example of her winning. I look at Baron Corbin winning. I look at Raquel winning the Intercontinental Champion. Like, just, there's a lot of first happening right now. Well, Baron Corbin's a 2-time, but like, you know what I mean. There's a lot of first. There's a lot more bold decisions going on now, right? I think Sami Zayn winning was a bold decision. Malik, you talked about more of the unpredictability happening. I feel like they're getting there. I think when Rhea does come back, I think Chelsea is going to win.
That'd be great.
I'm confident she's going to win because if Rhea just comes back and wins, there's literally no division. And I mean that as like, who else do we want to see Rhea Ripley fight? Yeah, she beat Jade and that's all she was feuding with, but like, I don't want to see her versus Charlotte. I've seen that already. I don't want to see her versus Tiffany. I've seen that already. And the more so reason why I think they're going to stick with Chelsea is because I think Tiffany's going to turn heel. And I think the duo of Tiffany and Chelsea is going to be what carries this woman's storyline going forward. Now, if Rhea doesn't, let's just say Rhea don't come back till January. If Rhea gets it back at that point, cool. Chelsea would have had long enough reign. Tiffany would probably be the one to cost her. Right? Because Tiffany might eventually always have resentment that Chelsea pushed her off. You got people like Blake Monroe on the roster she could fight. You got people like Candice LeRae, who I think is going to get back in the ring because, I mean, Blake Monroe just attacked her. There's different things you can do with that where I would be okay. Rhea, I don't think is going to be gone for long. If she was going to be gone for long, I don't think they would have gave the interim. But I'm confident that they're going to give Chelsea the win against Rhea when they get there. I misspoke, y'all. I didn't mean that. I misspoke.
To add to what G's saying, just a little fire to it. They have been trying to make Chelsea look more credible in the ring every Friday. Like, she's been actually wrestling and not winning in a comedic fashion. They've been doing that for like 2 months now. Like on the lowest of keys.
So I hear what everybody's saying. My only 2 things that I'm looking at is you brought up Liv before then. Liv had a different role that Chelsea didn't have. And sometimes we've seen in WWE, when you play your role very well, they don't want to take you out of that spot. Mm-hmm. You know, Chelsea Green is very good at putting others over. She's very good at being the comedic act. She's very good at playing the role that she's in, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, we all knew, could have been a lot more than what he was presented as for years in WWE, but he was very good at selling, very good at making others look good, which is what his role was for many, many years. They gave him a little success here and there, but they never fully committed to giving him the keys to the city because he had the role of making everybody else look good, and that is Chelsea Green in the women's division. And then number 2, you talk about Tiffany and Chelsea. I think they're going to win the tag titles. I think they're put together to have a run as champions, and I think that even more so now that Brie Bella is hurt because Nikki just came back from an injury. We all know that was bound to happen, but she got hurt. She was taken out WrestleMania. She just came back, but now Brie's hurt, and Brie could be gone for a minute. So now that has to be postponed even further. I think they're going to give those two ladies a run as the tag champions because they have chemistry and they have characters that kind of fit together, and then you can do the turn and everything like that. But I just don't feel like they're committing to Chelsea the way they would Liv, because Liv is somebody that was evolving into a superstar that you could see at a level of, oh, that could be a main eventer right there in our women's division. I don't think they view Chelsea that way. I think Chelsea is, once again, the interim. She's the here. All right, we're going to reward you for your success. And the crowd is behind you, so you've earned it. But it's temporary. Just like Sami Zayn. You've earned it. You reward you with it, but you ain't going to have it long. Now, Chelsea won't have it, that short. But whenever Rhea comes back, I fully feel like they're going to continue to go with Rhea as their champion, because if she never got hurt, there wouldn't even be an interim champion right now. She would still be the champion more than likely.
That's a valid point. That is a very valid point.
Yeah.
And then to
I can't argue that this is a here nigga damn. I can't argue that because it definitely feels that way.
Like, I hope I'm wrong though. I do hope I'm wrong. And then one more thing we're gonna talk about real quick before I talk about what happened yesterday. You guys talk about Roman and Seth yet?
No, we was starting from the top because.
Oh yeah, we ain't got to talk about that. I don't care about the Danhausen shit and Chad.
No. Well, yeah, we ain't got to talk about Danhausen. I was talking about we started with Kevin and Owens. Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna dive into Roman and Seth.
Yeah, let's do that.
5 out of 5. Oh my gosh, that was a great match. Great storytelling. Definitely the best match these two have had together. I thought it was a perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
A perfect build, a perfect start, a great ending. I love the Shield tribute at the end as well. In a perfect world, it would have been really cool to see like Mox a part of that somehow, like in a perfect crazy wrestling scenario world. But obviously that's not logically a thing because he's an AEW. But that was really good, man. That was a very, very good match. Even though I knew who was going to win the whole time, a lot of people, convinced themselves that Seth was going to win. There was never a doubt in my mind that Roman Reigns was winning this match.
Never.
The whole story was built for Roman to finally overcome that obsession and beat his kryptonite, who is Seth Rollins, and close that chapter. And that's happened. And I think that's a good chapter to close. Obviously, you can never say never in wrestling, so I'm not going to say they'll never fight again because it's wrestling, so they always revisit history. They'll probably be in the same ring together again at some point. But I feel like that ending was very, very cinematic, and I know that's kind of Roman Reigns' thing, but for Roman to have the chair and to see that he had the shot, but finally mentally be like, you know what? No, I'm letting it go. It's over with now. And then he finally said, me and you one-on-one, we're going to end it. And then for him to beat Seth and then to put the fist out himself and say, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm number one. You number two. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always going to be. But they still got that bond of the Shield, like the embracement of what the Shield was, man. I thought that was really, really cool. The Shield was a crazy peak during that time, and don't know if we'll ever see a group put together like that randomly where 3 guys go on to have the amount of success that they've had. But I thought that was a very, very, very well put together a very well put together match and a put together story for it to have the conclusion of the ending that we got. I still don't know if this is Roman's best match of the year because that CM Punk match was pretty crazy.
It was.
I don't know if I would say it was better than the Punk match at Mania, but it's definitely up there. I think also too, for the people out there who still feel like this version of Roman is kind of the same, this is a different Roman than it was before when he was champion. He's not winning matches with the bloodline. He's not doing none of that shit anymore. He's been winning by himself to prove like, hey, I'm the guy. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the guy. Like, he's been doing everything by himself, which was one of the biggest complaints that people had, during that bloodline run, the first run and everything. So he's been doing everything by himself. He's been showing up way more than even expected. Like, this is probably the most we've seen of Roman on our TV screens. And gosh, maybe 2021, like thinking about it, like just off the top of my head, like the most we've seen him like actually show up and do certain things, even though he doesn't wrestle all the time on like Raw and stuff like that. But like, he's been on TV majority of the time of the year, if we're being honest. He may have missed a an episode here and there, but like usually he would take like a month or two off. He's only like the max this year. I think it's been like 2 weeks or something. So you know, he's been more active this year. I am interested now to see where do we go from here, because Roman's going to be on Raw Monday. What direction do we possibly go in now?
So let's get into that thing, because we kind of talked about it yesterday. I mean, I feel like I've hammered this point over and over, so I'm not going to do it again. But if you weren't there, Malik, I'm pretty sure you saw the TikTok. But my logic is, I know how this company likes to work, and until they show me otherwise, I don't see a world Obafemi doesn't take the title off of Roman until WrestleMania, because
you think it's going to be Mania?
Yeah, because
okay.
Brock Lesnar just called on the next big thing. He main evented night 1 over Punk and Cody, which, let's be real, how many people have done that? And they don't like, Roman doesn't lose on B shows. Well, it doesn't lose titles on B shows. Roman Reigns doesn't lose titles on B shows. So the only B show where I truly believe there was a chance he would lose was Clash at the Castle. That was the only B show.
If it's not going to be over, then who's next? He got to fight somebody.
Oh, well, that's what I was going to get into. As far as who's next, honestly, and it probably won't be till Money in the Bank, because what I think is going to happen on Raw, he's going to go look at the Bloodline and yell at them for losing. I think we're going to
definitely
back. I think we're going to get back to the family dynamic stuff that they started with. He just hasn't really done it because he's been focused on Seth. Yeah. And now that stuff is out the way, it's going to be like, I handle my business, I beat Seth, you niggas lost.
Yeah, for real.
We're going to get back to that dynamic. So I don't think he's going to have a challenger for a minute. But once we get some Money in the Bank, if it was me, I would go Penta. Penta would win a number 1 contenders match. He's not gonna win. Listen. He's not gonna win, obviously. But if Penta just lost his title, granted it's to Chad Gable, all due respect, the next thing you do with Penta so that he still feels relevant, a match with Roman Reigns, that's great for Penta. And Penta and Roman Reigns will put on a banger.
They could have a good match, yeah.
All I'm saying is that's who I think would be next. I'm not obviously, like I said, I don't think Roman Reigns is losing until Mania. So he just needs to put on good matches from August to April. That's all he's got to do is put on bangers. So, I think a number 1 contenders match and Penta winning, it's not going to be Javon. Who else is on Raw?
I can tell you who exactly who's about to be. It's gonna be LA Knight, bro.
Bro.
Yeah, because LA Knight's gonna say we whooped y'all's ass.
Wait, hold on. First of all, everybody's saying like Penta who, and the disrespect to Penta's crazy. That's 1. 2, y'all mean to tell me y'all would rather see a Roman Reigns LA Knight match over a Roman Reigns Penta match? At least it's new.
No, you're right.
Something we ain't seen before. I've seen LA Knight, Roman Reigns. I know
it's gonna be LA Knight because he's been fighting the Bloodline.
Yep.
And you know what's gonna be crazier? This is exactly how it's gonna go. It's gonna be Roman LA Knight, and that's when Solo's gonna turn and get back in the Bloodline. I hope it will be LA Knight. That's exactly how it's gonna go. Because there's no way Solo's not joining the Bloodline at some point. Everybody knows he's going back at some point.
I don't think he is, bro.
I don't want him.
I guess that's where we disagree. I don't think he is.
No, I'm not saying he should, but there's no way they're doing this whole Bloodline story again without him not in it, bro.
But I don't think he's gonna join.
I
really think Zilla's showing up, and they're gonna beat on Solo.
He's in it too.
They're not gonna have a 6-man faction.
They may not be.
They're not gonna have a 6-man faction.
They may not be in it for long, but they all gonna be in it, bro. They all gonna be in it, bro. They all gonna be in it. And I don't think they'll all be in it because I don't think they're gonna bring Zilla up to be in the Bloodline immediately. I think he'll be in NXT at first. I think he'll do a little NXT stint at first, and that's when they'll kind of start to build him a little bit. But that's exactly how there's no doubt in my mind Solo's going back to the Bloodline. Now, he won't be what he was before. He can't go back to the Enforcer because he's too goofy and he's too funny now. Like, he can't do that anymore. Like, it's just...
Honestly, bro, Solo was the one person I can't see.
There's no way I don't think he's not going back, bro.
I don't think he is, bro.
Come on, bro. They're not doing his whole Bloodline without him.
Explain. Well, let me get the super chat out the way, and then I'll explain why. So, shout out Nick Donalds. CM Punk fans are annoying. Roman versus Seth was better match than Cody versus Punk. Oh, than Cody versus Punk? Absolutely.
I don't think people are saying that. I think people are saying Roman versus Punk is better than Roman versus Seth.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, I think is a better debate. But Cody versus Punk night one, no.
Cody versus Punk night one was good though.
It was good, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't
a good
this.
match.
So here's why
I don't think,
bro. Here's why I don't think he's going back to the bloodline
story. They're not retelling this whole story without him.
So I want you to look at it in this sense, and this is why. Sami Zayn was originally not supposed to be part of this bloodline. For him to be as crucial to the bloodline was.
Right.
But then they saw how it was doing, they saw the reaction, so they just ran with it. I think the original plan was for Solo to go back. And they're seeing the crowd go crazy for this man. Bro, when he did the Oos thing and they all went crazy. Bro,
the pew is when he sold me, bro.
Bro, I don't think he's going back.
You want me to tell you why it's not the same? You want me to tell you why it's not the same as Sammy? Because Sammy's not real blood. He's not related to these niggas for real. Solo was in the family. He can't escape that. He's always going to be in the family. Bro. And I know Solo getting over it and everything, the little pew and everything. Like, he's funny. Like, he's more funny than his brothers. I think
he really is, bro.
Than Jay. Like, he got more personality than all those guys. But they're not. I don't see them changing plans because I think the bloodline stuff that's like layers of planned out shit. Like, this is where we're going. These are the directions we're going in.
But I think they've pivoted now. I don't think Solo was supposed to get this over. I think, you know what I think the original plan was? I think the original plan was for Solo to turn on everybody at SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam, yeah, for sure.
I think that was the original plan. And then they said, oh, wait, hold on.
It's been too soon. Too obvious.
No, it would have been fine. They made it through 2 pay-per-views with this shit.
Too soon, too obvious. They're gonna make Solo. They're gonna make us wait. That's what they love to do. They love that long-term stuff. No.
I mean, look,
they love that long-term stuff.
So look, I'm gonna put it like this: if Solo goes back to the bloodline, I feel like that would be really disappointing because you had an opportunity. This is literally the most over Solo has been since he was the Enforcer.
Ain't no matter.
I would argue he's getting bigger reactions now than when he was the Enforcer.
My thing is, if I'm their family, I'm looking at this like, nah, bro, you shouldn't come back. Like, if I'm his brothers, I'm saying he shouldn't come back.
I really think
if Roman got the pool he got, that's not how they work though, because they're a family that can fight and civilize, but at the end they have this, and I'm talking about just them, the way they present it on TV. This isn't like you betray me, we can't be cool again. They have a purpose. And when they say it's time to come back together, especially if they say them ancestors, hey, the ancestors, you got to go back, Solo.
But the elders haven't done that yet, though.
That could be the excuse, though.
Hey, but look. Here's the thing. Because
again, they believe in respect of the elders type stuff. You know,
yes, they do.
For sure.
But Solo, if Roman Reigns, if they really got the pool and Paul Heyman still, because I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman's still working with these niggas. If they got the pool and creative like they say they do, and like we assume, right. I have no doubt in my mind they like, Solo over now though. He can't join us now.
Yeah, like in real life, outside of the character, they gotta be feeling like he's over.
Because here's what I genuinely think. Here's what I genuinely think.
They need him for war games, bro.
Bro, no. He's gonna be on the other team. I think Solo could be,
and that could be when he turned right there.
I was about to say that's when he turns,
and that's when he flipped.
Oh my god! I hope he don't.
Either way, honestly,
Solo. I want to see Solo win a singles title now. What if we said that about Solo?
Let me make this clear. I'm not saying Solo should go back. I like what he's doing right now. I like the positions that he's in, but there's just no way they're telling the story of him not going back eventually. What they could do to make it interesting, Solo could go back, but him and Jacob could be like the manipulators in the group. Like, all right, we're going to be back, but we're not really back. Like, we here to be back, but to really destroy it type stuff. So it's like, oh, we're in it, but like.
So what? You think Solo going to infiltrate the bloodline and end them from the inside?
That's what they could do. Him and Jacob. Because Jacob, Jacob was kind of forced to be in it. You know what I mean? It was kind of like he really didn't want to be in it, but he lost. He man of his word. All right, you beat me. I'm in my word. I respect the ancestors, the elder. I respect our culture, our family. I'm in it. But Solo and Jacob are kind of like in the same. Like the Usos are the same. Like those are Roman's really day ones right there. Like they grew up together. Like they're around the same age. Like those are really his day ones. Solo got an age gap between those guys, so he didn't really grow up around them like that. There's almost like a 10-year age gap. Jacob wasn't around them because he's from the hood. He was in different environments and stuff. So, he always talked about how, Solo was the one that called him. Solo was the one that brought him into the family. So like those two are intertwined. So if they wanted to do something like that, they could have Solo join, but it's like he's really in it to destroy it type stuff. So him and Jacob could have this master plan. And if you want to bring Zilla involved too, whatever, like there's different dynamics for that. I see different dynamics of that potentially could happening, but I don't see any world where Solo's not going back. Like if LA Knight's fighting Roman for the title, I could see a scenario where Solo prevents that from happening. If they do War Games, I could definitely see where Solo is like, all right, it's time to go back. Like it's time to go back. Like it's in the family, bro. They always go back. If there's one guy who should have never went back, it's Jey Uso. Jey Uso should have never went back to the bloodline after what he went through. He went through the most. He went through more torture than anybody in that family. Roman Reigns was putting him through misery, bro. He was disrespecting him in every way possible. But when Roman said it's time to get the family back together, what's the first thing Jay was doing out there?
Yeah, he was. He lost that title and said, "I gotta go back."
Throwing up the one, bro. First thing he did was, all right, Roman. Yep, we gotta get it back together, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, he never even apologized to when they got their back together for War Games.
I just rock with Mr. Solo Dolo, bro. I really like it.
I like it too.
I think they caught lightning in the bottle that they weren't prepared for. And I get WWE is stubborn, but when it comes to bloodline stuff, ironically enough, with your point, Malik, I feel like they're also willing to adapt, adjust, and pivot when it comes to bloodline stuff. That's why Sammy got his run. I mean, shoot. I think Solo being as over as he is as a babyface, I would hate for them to end that so soon, and I don't think they should.
Bro, Solo might be the most charismatic Samoan since The Rock. And I know that's crazy to say, but like he's over, bro. He's charismatic right now.
To go back to backtrack a little bit, what I would do, me personally, that's not what I would do. I wouldn't want to see that. I would just do. Honestly, I personally don't feel like that should happen. What I would do though, if I'm doing it, I'm doing Roman Oba, and I'm putting the title on Oba as soon as possible.
Yes.
I'm not waiting for WrestleMania. I don't feel like we have to wait for WrestleMania.
I'm
doing it at Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, one of them shows. Like that gives it more shock factor too, where like Roman Reigns has lost on a show that wasn't SummerSlam or WrestleMania, and you still get the same feel because Oba Femi, after what Brock Lesnar did, he a made man, bro. That's the made superstar right there. Brock Lesnar put him over in the biggest way possible. Oba Femi's made right there, and there's nowhere for him to possibly go now other than Roman Reigns. And I just don't see how you can stretch that out all the way for Mania. Like, you stretched the Brock feud out for Mania to SummerSlam, right? You gave that time.
I mean, they stretched Cody out, the Cody rematch, a whole year.
Yeah, a whole year, but Oba still got King of the Ring under his belt.
That's what I kept saying to okay, so what is G? Let me ask you this, G, just to what you said yesterday, because Malik brought up what I brought up about the King of the Ring thing. And you said the bloodline shenanigans. Well, Roman's not doing bloodline shenanigans anymore. So it's like, I don't know how you stretch that.
You're right. That's why, that's why one. If Oba just lose to Roman the first time, just clean, you've literally undone everything you just did in the past.
Facts.
Granted, it's Roman Reigns, I get it, but Oba, bro. We talking about Oba. If you just physically watching what Oba did to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is believable.
Yep.
You losing to Roman Reigns clean, because even Brock jumped him and gave Oba a low blow when he won. You losing a Roman clean? If Roman beats Oba, Roman should just go on another 4-year run. Because who else is gonna beat this nigga? Which is why.
Push your mic back a little bit, Lynn. Somebody said it's too close. Not you.
Oh, okay. If Roman beats Oba, Roman might as well just hold the title.
If he beats Oba, it's gonna have to be bloodline. It's gonna have to be.
But like, if he's not doing that anymore, I don't think you can have this match this soon. Oba should not be losing to Roman. If he loses clean, it's gonna diminish when he actually does win it. I don't think he should do that. I really don't think he should do that.
We saw Oba kick out a 6 F5, 6-7 to beat him. We saw this nigga kick out of a tombstone on the real match of the ring, bro, and Hulk up and everything, and get a dub over Brock Lesnar. If Roman does beat, I mean, I can see WWE stretching it out, so maybe they'll do it at Mania. I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna wait to give us Oba versus Roman until Mania. I don't see how they could do that, but if Oba were to lose, it would have to be the bloodline. Like, it's gonna take all of them. to
But
keep Oba down.
he just did all of this, and that's what I said yesterday. It would have to be the most OD bloodline shenanigans and 5 super spears. But even then, Roman, you just beat Seth clean.
That's what they call Solo.
And there was an opportunity for the bloodline to come down, and they didn't. This nigga said Solo.
What are they gonna call Solo? Hey, listen, we got Oba, man. We got an Oba problem. We need you in there, bro.
Roman go hit him with the classic
Solo.
Solo.
This is. I think Lynn might have said this yesterday. This is an option I feel like they can do. Or I might have saw it on TikTok or something. If he goes through the bloodline one by one.
No, that's me and you both said that. Like about how
because I said go
each
through
of the
whole
roster.
roster.
Yeah.
But if he goes through the bloodline specifically, like if Jacob is his last thing he got to go through, because if Jacob gets a pin over, I wouldn't hate it. Jacob, I believe, can do it. There's only a few people that I would legit believe could beat Oba, like pin him. Jacob is one of them. Braun Breaker is the other, and because he's fucking done it already, Cody Rhodes. Those 3 other than Roman are the only ones I could believe would get a pin over. I love CM Punk. Don't think he would do it. So if it happens, cool. But Raw is gonna tell me everything I need to know. Raw is gonna tell me everything I need to know.
There's no way that
he comes out to Roman and sets a challenge. Roman, I'm sorry, brother, you gotta lose. But then it's like just got your bloodline together, and you're losing in October.
Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Solo cost Roman the championship. Maybe that could be a scenario. Maybe he
bro, like Malik said, Brock Lesnar, Oba was so confused that he didn't even want to go back in the ring. Brock Lesnar had to look at him and say, "Nah, come back. This real." Like you don't have that guy lose or have to go through the bloodline. He just like, what do we do? Like he doesn't have to fight like Jimmy Uso. Brock Lesnar just said he's the nigga. Like what do we do?
Like if they do it at Survivor Series, because I'm gonna be there, by all means.
Survivor Series is a big war. They could do it there.
But it's just
money.
I'm really, because if this is up to me, I personally don't believe Roman has to lose it at WrestleMania, but WWE does. I'm thinking in WWE's mind, Roman is not losing until Mania. They brought him back and reran the bloodline to get these ratings up, to get ready for Saudi. I don't see a world they just have Roman lose before Mania. And let's be real, Roman without the title, it's all right. It's cool. But it ain't him with the title. Like that stuff he was doing with Bronson Reed, that was cool. Tribal Thief, that was nice.
I feel they should give Oba the title before Mania.
They got to, bro.
That's what they should do. Because I still am looking at it. You give Oba the title, it gives more shock factor. It brings a difference to the whole WWE at its core, honestly.
So then what do you?
It makes everything feel different.
Well, honestly, the other thing too, and I understand why you see that, because you, and I think Lynn, you do too, y'all still believe Rock and Roman is happening in Saudi, and I don't.
Yes, 100%. I do. Yes,
and that's why.
Yes,
that is understandable why y'all think that.
Yes,
that is understandable why y'all think that. Because I don't believe it's happening. Roman is walking in as champion. It's Roman and Oba night 2 WrestleMania.
I agree with Malik's videos
and
about
they
A-Rab
love him in Saudi. Hey, when Oba came out of Saudi, they was going crazy. That's my night 2 main event for me.
I don't see a scenario where Rock and Roman's not main eventing, bro.
I don't think The Rock wants to do it, bro. He got a busy schedule.
No, and see the fact that Rock's movie's been flopping.
That's what I'm saying too.
Well, it's just a live action Moana.
Ain't been doing them boxes.
It's been more than that. It's more than that.
What other movie he came out with?
Black Adam did do well.
Black Adam did do well. The movie.
Black Adam was like
Red One didn't do well in the box office.
Smash Red One didn't do well.
Smashing Machine didn't do well.
Smashing Machine was ass, bro.
Smashing Machine. That was a good movie though. It was a good movie, but it didn't do well.
I don't think he's coming, bro. I really don't.
Saudi got too much money, bro. This people got to understand. This is the same place that was asking for dead wrestlers to wrestle for the big show when they first were going over there. People that weren't even alive. They wanted Andre. They wanted Yokozuna. They wanted all these other people that are not even here anymore. They know they got a chance to have maybe the biggest match ever, and this probably could be the last time you could see it happening. There's too much money. There's too much investment, too much money. They get everything over there now, bro. They get all the sports events. They got all the stuff over there. You got everything you could ask for. Everything lined up. There's no world where I don't see that match not happening in Saudi next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess my thing about it, I need them to confirm and like tell Rock he can't get out the contract. Until, or like they can't take that title off Roman until Rock signs the paper. I'm doing this in Saudi and I can't back out.
We're not gonna know till next year. That's the thing, and they're not gonna start building up till next year.
But when are you in your brain, Malik? When are you giving Oba this title? When is he beating Roman?
Money in the Bank.
When in your brain is it confirmed that? Because if Rock and Roman, let's just say we don't get Rock and Roman, but you still take the title off of Roman, what does he do after that?
Well, if Roman doesn't win, if we're hypothetically not getting Rock versus Roman, then you probably should wait for Oba and Roman for WrestleMania the next year.
No, but you said they're not going to start building until next year. So let's just say they decide they're going to go on faith and they take the title off of Roman at Money in the Bank, and Rock says, "I'm not doing it." Then what?
Oh, then they'll probably run back Oba and Roman again, or they'll do Roman versus somebody else that he hasn't fought yet, maybe. Braun Breaker, like be one of those guys. It'll have to be one of those guys. It's going to have to be one of those guys. He already done fought other big guys. He done fought CM Punk. He done fought Seth, Cody, or Roman Cody. That could be another option there. They could run that back for the third time, so that could be the option.
With Cody as the champion?
Yeah, man, I didn't even have to be for a title. Y'all talking about this Cody heel turn. Maybe they do some shit like that.
You're doing Roman Cody 3. I'm sorry. I'm usually not in the mindset of you have to have the title. But if you're doing Roman Cody 3, I don't care unless it's for a title. I don't care. They don't have a history like Seth and Roman where I would care if it didn't have the title.
Or like Randy Cody.
But they can make it
right, or like a Randy Cody. If
they can make it about again, they could easily make it about that though, because they're 1-1. And their debate is really the Roman and Seth feud. That's really Roman and Cody. Who's really top guy? Because Seth was never top guy. Seth was never number one like Cody was. Cody was number one.
They really have real life beef too.
That could be the real question. Like I know they told the story with Roman and Seth, but that was because Seth had always got the one up on Roman. But we always knew Seth wasn't number one. Maybe you could debate back in them earlier days when Roman was big dog that Seth could have been above him. So if you want to debate during that time, sure. But once Roman took off his tribal chief, leaps and bounds. Like the only other person that was close to that was Cody. That's the real feud right there. Like you don't have to have a title to tell that feud. Who's really number one? Because ever since Roman won the title at Mania, I asked y'all the question the night after Mania. Who's really the top guy? And y'all still said Cody at that time.
Well,
but
I said it was both.
It's Roman Reigns right now.
It's
been Roman since WrestleMania. So
that's more of a reason why I don't think they're taking the title off him to WrestleMania, though. That's more of a reason because all of a sudden you take that title off of Cody, SmackDown is a better show.
Oh
Raw. Once you gave the title to Roman, all of a sudden niggas is tuned in to Raw every week now. Now it just sucks a little more because they just lost like key pieces. And Solo showing up to Raw has actually helped, or like they just lost. CM Punk going to SmackDown. CM Punk going to SmackDown has actually like hurt Raw a lot more. They moved Finn Balor over there. Didn't think that was gonna hurt him as much.
And to add on to what somebody said right there, Roman and Seth, all those matches ended in shenanigans. We haven't had a clean finish between the two individuals. It was always bloodline or something like Cody. Or Roman and Cody. Yeah, Roman and Cody. Like we haven't had the clean finish yet. So that easily could be the story. Who's been the guy of this era? Roman, obviously he believes he's the guy. Cody, that's the best story to tell right there, other than the championship.
But nah, I'm with you, Malik. Oba got to win at Money in the Bank or Survivor Series. He has.
If it was up to me, honestly, I would do it at Money in the Bank or Survivor Series. But I can't say Survivor Series because they were going to do War Games. So I just know that's going to be a big slot for a main event spot.
Okay, so. And so then here's the flip side of it. Like you just said, they're going to do War Games. And you're assuming Roman needs to be in there for Bloodline.
No, you're not going to be in there. They don't have to be in there. They got another group.
Wait, who's the other group?
Come on, bro. You know who it is. Division, bro.
Oh.
the other group. Because you're going to have Bronson Reed back by then. You're going to say Logan Paul will be back by then. You already got Austin Theory. You got Braun Breaker in there. All they
versus fucking who?
All they need is a fifth member. It'd be like the Street Profits and, Probably LA Knight because he either fighting the bloodline or the Vision, one of the two. So it'll be Seth Rollins. They'll throw some people in there. But it's always a faction versus a random team. That's how it is every year. It's either the bloodline, the Judgment Day versus whoever else is on the other side, bro. They put random people together. That's literally what they've done since 2022. Actually, since the War Games has been invented, it was either Undisputed Era versus whoever's on the other side. Main roster, bloodline, whoever on the other side. That's literally how it's been, bro. So if they don't got the bloodline this year, we got Division. We got another group. They got another group right there.
Yeah, I got to get the sign for the Vision.
I fucking hate you, bro.
Division is cooked too.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, Braun Breaker hates his life every
to wrap up.
I just really wish. I'm hoping when Bronson Reed comes back and Logan is cleared, they'll just run with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, and we get Braun Breaker out of the group because I don't want to see them.
Or just go back to Paul or Braun and Bronson. That I was okay with. But once they added Theory,
I think Paul Heyman needs to be Braun Breaker though, because if Brock Lesnar about to be out, he got it. Braun Breaker is the perfect fit for Paul Heyman. Like those two would be good together. If you want to keep Bronson Reed in there too, sure. Then that trio, I'm cool with.
Because Braun Breaker was losing aura by the day.
Yeah, unfortunately. We have 198 people in this chat. Y'all like the stream, man. Subscribe to the channel. To wrap up everything, just one more time, just because I feel like I talk about it.
Tomorrow on Raw's going to tell us what we need to know, though.
Yeah, Raw's going to tell us what we need to know. I hope I get some clarity there. I think I feel like it's just how I felt all the time. Like, imagine if Cody would have beat Roman Reigns for the undisputed title at fucking Survivor Series.
Oh, that's not the same.
Or like if they actually would have done Roman, let's say they would have done Roman Rock. Cody Rhodes winning the title at Elimination Chamber?
No, they were going to do it at Saturday night's main event at the Garden, remember? That was the...
There was a Saturday night's main event at the Garden before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, you feel me? Like, it's not the same. If you're going to have something... Because that match was to establish Cody, you're the guy now. Well, you're the new babyface guy anyway. Right? That was what that was for. Ending a historic reign. Even when Roman, like beat Edge and Bryan and beat Brock with both titles on line. Imagine if they would have did that at some B-level show. Even though Money in the Bank, you can kind of say it's like a little bit more A-ish than B-ish. It's just not the same. When it comes to stuff like that, it's not the same. I'm not saying this ain't just anybody winning a title or giving a push, right? This is you establishing, because if Oba beats Roman Reigns, you're establishing you are now on the same level of me, Cody, and Punk. Because I think those three are in a level of their own right now. And Randy to an extent, but Randy be on PTO too much.
Yeah, Randy on Legend time.
But Roman, Cody, and Punk are your three faces right now. Your top three guys that no matter where they go, people are going to tune in. Oba beating Roman for that title is saying the same thing. You're on that level. We're putting you on the Today Show. We're giving you the interviews. You're signing autographs for the kids. You're at Fanatics Fest. You're doing the whole nine. You don't establish somebody like that at a Money in the Bank or a Survivor Series or whatever Saudi show you want to do in the meantime. That's not WrestleMania. You don't do that. If you weren't going to do it at SummerSlam, you can't do it any other time before that. That's how I genuinely feel. I feel like they can figure out a way to stretch it. But this is why I said, and even the super chat mentioned it as well. This is why you shouldn't have had him win King of the Ring.
Facts.
If you were going to do the trilogy and we were going to do Seth Roman, Seth has never won King of the Ring. You could have gave it to him.
It would have made more sense.
It would have made way more sense. And we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. Because Oba could have done anything else because technically there wouldn't be you have a world championship opportunity.
That's the issue. The issue is the world championship shot, because if he didn't have that, you could make him win the Rumble. But the fact that he has it, it's like he has to use it.
Yeah, I would have even been cool him in the Money in the Bank match after this, because they're going to do qualifying matches. Oba qualifies for Money in the Bank. That's another favorite you can do, even though I probably wouldn't be him. That just gives him something to do now. That's something he can do in the meantime. Right? Imagine an Oba-Gunther feud going into Royal Rumble. Right? Or even a Gunther-Jacob or Oba-Jacob Fatu feud. Like, that's something you can do that'll buy time to the Rumble, and then we get to the Rumble, you win. Now we know you're getting the Roman. It's just a matter of let's just get there.
But now you can't, because bro, I swear to God, if I have to see Oba fight Jimmy Uso, I'm gonna scream.
It better be the only way I'm cool with that is if it's a 2-on-1 handicap match.
It's both of them.
Yeah, bro. This your warning shot. Pew pew.
I think Oba winning King of the Ring to me was the right choice if he's going to win the world title still. If he still wins the world title, then everything's still fine because him going through Brock the way he did and everything, and now he's going to the world title, that just makes him bigger. And I get WrestleMania is WrestleMania, SummerSlam is SummerSlam. Like those are the big shows that they've built a custom as like the important shows to WWE's history, right? But I don't feel like we have to wait that long to establish Oba. You could have Oba beat Roman, and you could still do things for him that still establish him even further and further and further up there. You know, shit, Roman was the guy. His first championship win was on Monday Night Raw, on a random episode of Raw, and that was the guy they were telling us was the guy for years.
That's not the same. That's not the same.
That was not the same. Was Roman not the next guy?
Who did he beat to win his first championship?
He beat Sheamus, but
that's not the same. That's why it's not the. That's why it's not the same. If there was anybody,
he hadn't won the championship yet.
No, that was his first title win, but he didn't beat some game-changing established face of the company. He beat Sheamus.
They didn't have anybody like that then. There was nobody there.
But that's my point. You have somebody like that now. If this was anybody else, world champion, if this was CM Punk, even though CM Punk, I love him. If this was CM Punk, all right, cool. By all means. But this is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns don't get pinned often.
That's what makes it better and more shocking. He beat Roman Reigns at a show that wasn't WrestleMania.
That
shows Roman Reigns is more vulnerable too. Like Roman Reigns is more human.
The shock factor of it, but it's not going to be the same.
I disagree. I think it's the same. I think it's the same, if not bigger, if I'm being honest.
But look, Malik, we're the same people that thought Braun Breaker should have beat CM Punk. So
if it's WrestleMania, I could argue that's more predictable where you could pick Oba to win. Nobody's going to think Oba beat Roman at Money in the Bank at a Survivor Series because, like you said, Roman Reigns don't lose at those shows.
But you're also got to take into account he barely get Let's be
and
fair.
That, honestly, the reason that's also bigger too. That's telling us WWE is sold on this nigga right now. They don't want to wait until WrestleMania. They ready to establish him
they're sold
right
on
now.
Right now, they give him because WrestleMania is where all the people who don't watch show up. That's where all you get the new eyes and the casual eyes. Granted, you probably won't have as much of that traveling to Mania this year because of where it is, but that's still where you get the most sponsors, the most random eyes, the most celebrities, the most all of that. And it's the opportunity to beat your face of the company. They don't take title. This ain't 2002, 2004, 2006, where you take titles off the face of your company at no mercy. It's not that era anymore.
That's why.
And we know Paul Levesque, executive producer Paul Levesque. We know this nigga. That nigga love waiting for the big moments. He love it. That's his thing.
Yeah, but we talking about this year though. They've done more shocking things this year opposed to the previous years. They gave Sami Zayn a 9-day title reign. Nobody was thinking Sami Zayn was going to become champion at all this year at any point. Like that was not in anybody's category, not in anybody's cards. They're doing things now to start telling us like they gave Drew McIntyre the WWE title this year when nobody thought that was going to happen. We for sure thought he was cooked. Like he ain't winning the championship, even though he lost it. But like nobody thought Drew McIntyre was going to get that title, you know? So they're doing more things to show us that, hey, we could possibly do these more things on these shows. And that gives people a reason to have to watch more of these shows when your bigger stars lose at shows that aren't these bigger events. And if they're going to go in different directions with Roman, you know, opposed to the bloodline stuff, you know, Oba winning is just now fine because you still have time to build him up to Mania where you're telling us he's our guy now. Even if you want to put him in that position, he's our next top star of the future that everybody should be taking seriously. Even though he just beat Brock, but if they put the title on him right now, they're telling us, without a doubt, we're not waiting. He's ready now. They haven't treated somebody like this since Brock Lesnar, if we're being honest, on the main roster, where he got the title faster than anybody could ever expected. If they wait till WrestleMania, they possibly could, but you have to find other things to do between then that is just unnecessary. Like you don't have to do all that. Like you got to wait for now all the way till Mania. Where does Oba go from here? Because he still got the King of the Ring opportunity. He got to use that. And if you have him lose, okay, he lost. Maybe because of the bloodline shenanigans.
It's more likely for him to lose the first one and then win it at Mania as opposed to him. I'd rather him. It's just The big issue is that he shouldn't have won King of the Ring if this is what we were gonna do.
And then what
Yes, I
kills
think
me.
he can. Yes, I think he can. By the way, just to answer your question, Josh, I think he is going to. By the way, but that's neither here nor there.
He could. I mean, they gave Sami Zayn the title.
And what kills me with that is if Oba then loses the King of the Ring shot, and we
You're
do
killing
build to,
all the momentum you just built.
You're killing it all, and then what's to stop Dwayne from like, bro? I'm still on the Dwayne kick. Like, what's to stop him from coming at Mania and just ruining that?
And y'all gonna be sick when y'all have to come on this show on a Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, like, subscribe, and y'all gotta look at me and be like, damn, G, my bad. Maybe he shouldn't have fought Roman that early. Maybe we should have waited till Mania, because now we just sacrificed Oba for Dwayne.
Hey,
I don't care how much money you making, I'm not sacrificing Oba Femi for Dwayne.
I will come apologize, but I just know in those situations, me and Malik are 1-0 right now because Braun Breaker should have beat CM Punk at Netflix day one. Because
he shouldn't have been in the match. It was too soon. He shouldn't have been in the match. It was too soon.
Because look where we at now.
No, I'm with you on that because my logic is he shouldn't have been in the match. They shouldn't have done that title match too early. It was supposed to be Seth and Punk, but instead of just completely getting a different opponent, they said, let's do Braun. I knew he wasn't going to win because CM Punk had only had one title defense up until that point. They weren't going to get rid of that soon, especially because I knew Roman was coming back. And he was teasing fighting for the title. That's what messed him up. But we know Seth Rollins is the reason Braun Breaker's not.
Jeez.
I blame him. That Iron Armor chick. That's why you got packed up today. But
what does he do? Wait, I was thinking about it the whole time while I was watching when Roman was like nuxing him and like Roman's like, yeah, I'm the big dog, but I love you. You're my friend. I'm just sitting here like, Seth, what do you do now?
Seth is a guy who you can put with anybody. He can work with whoever, man.
He'll probably come out, be sad. You know what I hope? Even though we've seen it already, I hope either Drew McIntyre comes back and attacks him, or, which is most likely to happen, his first feud will be with Big Cass.
Oh my gosh.
Big Cass. Which, no. And y'all rolling your eyes, but let's be real. That's probably the best thing Big Cass can do.
Also. Oh, no. That's good for Big Cass, but not good for Seth.
That's exactly. As soon as I thought about that, I'm like, Big Cass, bro. I forgot he coming back. That's probably what he's going to end up doing. He'll come out, cut a promo, and Big Cass going to beat him up or something. Exactly what they probably gonna do. If I'm WWE, I'm doing a Seth and Javon feud, bro. I like that a lot.
Ooh, now that's up I could
Javon a real feud. You know, he may not have to win, but like this is his first real feud against somebody like Seth, where it's like this is where he can show people what he can really do. In the promos, especially in the matches. Like the matches, my gosh, they can do all types of great stuff, but it'll probably be Big Cass, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably the direction they're gonna go in.
Is who I see.
Big Cass.
Yeah. Realistically, that's probably what's gonna happen. Javon is still in this Rusev, Ethan Page vortex.
That's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be Colin Cassidy, bro.
That's gonna be his name.
Nah, they've already showed Big Cass.
It's still Big Cass, but his real name Colin Cassidy. I ain't forget about that. That's who he was before they switched it to Big Cass. Exactly who's gonna be. It's gonna be Big Cass, bro. I just remember I forgot he's coming back, so that's exactly what's gonna happen. So,
hey Malik, on some Triple A shit, does Big Cass go down to fight Omos?
I don't think they'll put him down there. I don't think they'll put him there because especially if you're gonna be fighting Seth, he's in a good spot. Shit, they trying to do something with him.
They only send people down to, except for Dom, they only send people down to AAA when they got shit to do on the main roster.
Damn, and yo, you know the funny thing is, I should have known that Penta was gonna lose, even though like it's known because Chad Gable's there, but because Penta's about to go to Mexico for 2 months.
Him and his brother.
Yeah.
His brother should be good.
I mean, I think that's pretty much everything. Raw's gonna tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah, I
just want to be clear for the chat because I know I sound like I don't want Oba to win the title. I do. I just know how WWE likes to move. And my fear is if they do it before Mania, Oba might not win. That's my fear. If they do it before Mania, Oba might not win, which means we just wasted the first 6-8 months of the year. The Rumble to Mania to now. We just wasted the first 8 months of the year.
I won't I can't say it's wasted because I could definitely, if Oba were to lose, he would win the Royal Rumble for sure. So he'd be
It wouldn't be the same, though.
He'd be back in that. It would still put him up there though, because now he's got more accolades attached to him. I mean, accolades are going to help build up your resume as somebody that they're going to look at. It's like, oh, he did this and that. Like, whenever you talk about the all-time greats, you got to run down the resume. No, it's scripted, but like people who got those accolades, those are the ones that are ranked very high. So I could definitely see him winning the Rumble, and they could run that back. I mean, I truly feel Saudi just based off if they're going to do Rock and Roman. I truly feel that way.
I don't believe they are. I think that's
there's just too much. There's just too much money on the table, bro, for it to happen. I'm not gonna
I think Rock is also like petty like that. He's like, nah, I'm not giving. The one time I tried to give it to you, y'all chose that white man, so nah, I'm good. Y'all chose that blonde hair, blue eye white man. I'm good. Never again. Never again.
Nah, I don't think.
Nah, I think Turkey about to drop that bag.
Nigga was part of one of the most craziest, shocking heel turns ever, and just chose not to show up. Was chilling in Hawaii for Mania. And you a crucial part of the story, nigga.
Nah, I think that was the pettiness of Rock. I think that was the get back to what you talking about. I think Turkey's about to come with that boxing money and give him close
there's
to
too much. There's
six.
Too much investment into it, bro. Like I said, and the Rocket, he a business guy too, bro. There's too much investment into it. Like, there's too much money on there. There's too much to be made there. There's too much history.
You don't think Vegas was gonna pay him a bag for all that?
Not like Saudi.
All them casinos.
Not like
Vegas
Saudi,
is the mecca of all them casinos. Every time y'all donate, it goes straight to Vegas.
Bro, I think he might get 100 M's from Saudi, bro. Like real shit.
Saudi Arabia could buy America, bro. Like they got a lot of money.
America's crazy.
They got a lot of money out there, bro. I'm not gonna cap to you. Like they got a lot.
They brought Ronaldo there, bro. Like legit.
Like, and I don't think they're having WrestleMania in Saudi because this potentially could be the only WrestleMania in Saudi that we could get. And that contract is coming up within the next 2 years too. So whether they re-sign that contract or not, I don't know. But like, I don't think they're having the WrestleMania in Saudi for it to just be like, we're not gonna give you some of the biggest matches that we possibly couldn't have. Like, no, Rock Roman is like, that's gonna change the game right there. You feel me? And that is the match too, honestly, whether people want to admit it or not. That's the match that's going to force people to have to watch.
The Saudi Mania, yeah, facts.
Even if you don't want to watch the Mania in Saudi, that's going to be the match that's going to have to force people who don't want to watch.
I didn't think about that. That's a great point because you need a match that'll make Americans be like the ones who are quote unquote a moral high ground. You have to have a match that makes them want to be like, nah, I'm gonna tune in. And Rock Roman kind of is the only match that could technically do that.
So then, with that being said, before we get out of here, let me just because I think we've talked about everything else on the show.
We still got time. Yeah, we still got some time.
Well, I gotta go to bed soon because I got practice at 4:30 in the morning. So, my question to y'all: let's just say I succumb to the idea that we're getting Rock Roman. Let's just say that's what I decide to do, and Oba wins at Money in the Bank because I doubt Roman Reigns is gonna be at 7 minutes main event to wrestle. What is your high-profile, big money match for Oba Femi at WrestleMania in Saudi?
I still think I like Braun Breaker.
Is it too early for Braun Breaker? Yeah, I was thinking that.
They would have to build Braun up like very early until then. But if it's not Oba, I mean, it could be CM Punk. It could be Cody. They got to run that back. Him and Cody got a story to tell still too, so they can run that back. If you want to have him beat another legend top guy, it would have to be, I would say Cody would be the guy because they already have a little layer of stuff they can do there. And Cody's never had the world heavyweight title either. He hasn't gone after that championship yet. So there's something you can do with that. Braun Breaker, I think that's inevitable to happen at some point because I think that probably could be like the next Roman and Seth type feud where it's like these guys are connected together fighting for the same spot. You know what I mean? So that would have to be one of those two, I feel. Punk, I could say potentially.
Does Oba retain?
Against Braun Breaker, yeah.
No matter the scenario. Is there anybody you would play Oba with where Oba loses that match?
Nah, I don't think so.
No, the only one would be Braun, but I would still have an Oba win for now. I would still have Oba win for now.
So, and I guess I don't want to go too much into a rabbit hole because I'm hearing all this and I'm like, okay, cool. Braun Breaker losing that match, how does that affect him going forward? So Punk Cody, they'll be fine, not worried about that. If Gunther loses another world title match, that nigga's the pin Gunther, pin Walter. That's the names I better start hearing with this nigga. Because we talk about
Yeah,
Finn
he talking
Balor.
about Finn
This nigga done lost every world title shot I could think of since. Oh my gosh! Ever since he went to that world title, nigga, all he do is lose. So I don't want to go. I
see
so
what you're
for
saying.
me, because for me, and I'm gonna say this again. That's why I would rather Oba just win at Mania. Because after that, the people who would eventually he'd have to beat and lose to, and then inevitably when Oba has to lose, I feel like that gives you enough time to build up quality people. In a perfect world, if I had the book and I was forced to do Rock and Roll, because again, if I had the book, that nigga would not be anywhere on the show. Oh my God, Matt Thunder, I gotta give you some love.
The pin general.
That nigga losing. Oh, whoops, wrong one. That nigga lose another world title. He is the pin general. He lose another. I'm gonna start calling him that now. Screw it.
He ain't been getting pinned though.
Yeah,
He
he
ain't
been.
getting
Other
pinned
than
in
this
the
fatal
Fatal
4-way, he been getting pinned.
He ain't getting pinned in the
I
Fatal
guess
Four
the
either.
triple threat. I guess,
he
but
been getting pinned.
he lost every Cody match 1-on-1. He was getting pinned.
Cody Rhodes though. It's Cody Rhodes.
Ew, he got pinned by CM Punk in his first title defense. He got put to sleep by Jey Uso.
Jey Uso is the only crazy one. That's the only crazy. That one is still crazy. That was still crazy. Even though we knew he was gonna lose to Jay, the way they did that was crazy. The way they had
that was crazy. But if I had the book and I was forced to do Rock and Roman, man, Javon Evans would win. He would start at number 1 and go to the final 2, and then he'd be the Iron Man in the Elimination Chamber to build him up so we can get what should have happened in NXT Shawn Michaels over Javon Evans. Now, Javon would lose the first one, but he'd get back at the next one because Oba still needs to be, even though he beat Roman, I need Oba to have a second real high-powered WrestleMania. Because I think you talk about the greatest rookie year, right? If we go from WrestleMania to WrestleMania, I beat Brock Lesnar so bad he was thinking about retiring. I went King of the Ring. I retired legit probably. Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, win the Royal Rumble, then I beat Roman Reigns in my second WrestleMania. That to me is a better rookie year than I beat Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank and then I face little old Javon or CM Punk at Mania and retain.
If he beat Roman at Money in the Bank and they beat Cody at Mania, that's pretty OD. I'm not gonna lie. Them the two niggas right there. He beat those two.
I think I think it would be better if he beat Roman at Mania and then beat Cody at that SummerSlam. I think that's better.
Yeah, but see, I don't feel like I feel like
I know we don't want to do that, but it's WWE and they've already set a path for that. If Brock Lesnar never does this trilogy, or if they don't have Oba win King of the Ring, I'm with you, Malik. I promise you I am. And it's WWE's fault, but they've already set a path for that. They've already established and set a path that when we're trying to make new stars, it's Mania or SummerSlam. They've already set that path. They've already shown us the track record. So even though I'm one of the only ones on the pod that doesn't believe in Roman Rock, I will give you the point the first time you've convinced me that that's going to force people to tune in to the Saudi one. I'll give you that point. It kind of convinced me a little bit, but I'm still not believing that's happening. So because I'm not, the only thing that they can do that's not Rock Roman is Roman Oba. That's the and this is their precedent. This isn't what I would do. I would make because sure, back in the NXT Takeover days, I don't care if they was in Phoenix, if they was in Oregon, if they was in Miami, or if they were in Charlotte, North Carolina. Every takeover felt important, no matter where you were. Yeah, the WrestleMania weekend ones were probably the biggest, but every takeover felt important. They don't do that with these shows. There's a reason they're called B-level pay-per-views for a reason. They've set this precedent that we don't do changing of the guard face of company title changes unless it's Mania. They did that, not us. They did that.
I understand your point. I'm not even saying that Oba has to be the face of the company. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I think eventually he could be that, but I'm not saying he has to be that right now. But with WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia next year, this is still a business at the end of the day. This isn't about what you want, what you don't want, what you think is right, what you think the match is going to be good or the match is not going to be good. This is a business. It's about making money. And anybody who's a promoter, if we were on that position and we saw the type of numbers that Rock and Roman could do and the type of money we gonna make, yeah, we gonna do it. I'm passing up that money. I'm not passing up that life changing historical thing that this could possibly be the last time we could do this because Rock not getting any younger. Roman Reigns ain't gonna be around forever. This type of stuff, this type of stuff that wrestling is made for matches like this. And I agreed the match should have happened, already years ago. I wish it would have happened at 39. I thought 39 was the perfect spot, the perfect venue, the perfect time for it to happen. But they went with Roman and Cody instead obviously it could have happened at 40, but the timing wasn't right with them building up Cody that long and everything. So it wasn't right. But this is still a business at the end of the day. In WrestleMania Saudi, they're going to try to generate as much money as they possibly want. They're going to try to make this the biggest WrestleMania ever. It's the first WrestleMania outside of the U.S. since WrestleMania 18, and that was in Canada. But they've never gone to another place like this, and this might be the only time they could ever have a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. And if you have a match like this caliber on the table, there's too much money to pass up. And I genuinely feel they put this WrestleMania in Saudi for a match like this, because once again, there's a lot of people out there who don't like them Saudi shows, but this is one of those matches that's going to have to force people to watch this show, because Rock and Roman is a match that even if you don't feel hype for it or you don't feel like it could be a great match, it's a match you can't miss on paper. It's The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This is a once in a lifetime match that will never happen again. They will never wrestle again if they fight at WrestleMania. This will probably be more than likely The Rock's last match ever. Like this, thinking hypothetically, this will probably be the last match you'll ever have. So it's kind of going to force people to be like, man, I don't really want to watch that Saudi show by Rock Roman. I can't miss that, man. And realistically, if we're talking about the builds, when The Rock has been a part of matches, them builds be good. Him and Cena was a great build. That build we talked about 2 years ago, that was carrying WrestleMania going into 40. They going if he's gonna be a part of it, he's gonna be a part of it. He's gonna be in it. They're gonna do something special for it. I don't think it should be for a championship. Knowing WWE though, it probably could be, because in WWE's eyes, it makes the match bigger. But the only problem is, if you put the title on the line, that means Roman has to be champion past WrestleMania, because you can't have The Rock win the championship. So now Roman's got to be past Mania as champion. Now we got to wait longer for Oba to be champion, or whoever the case is. I feel if you have Oba win the championship before Mania, there's a lot of things you could do with that. What type of story do they tell? That's for them to figure out. I'm not in the creative team, so that's for them to figure out. Maybe The Rock is, let's say The Rock comes back and he wants to be a part of what the Bloodline is creating, but The Rock doesn't want to be second fiddle. He's the final boss. He don't take orders. You feel me? Like, I respect the tribal chief. I acknowledge you, but I'm not a background guy. You feel me? Like, my voice is gonna have to matter as much. And Roman Reigns could be like, oh no, we're not doing that here, brother. Like, I built the Bloodline. I'm the one who made this relevant. I'm the one who made everything important. I'm not just gonna let somebody come in here and just control my thing. Like, Roman Reigns is a control freak. He's shown that. Like, whenever somebody threatens his position to take that spot, no, we can't do that. You feel me? Man, I'm the tribal chief. This is my shit. So I don't know what they'll do, whatever they do, but I feel like that's probably the best scenario to go with. Like, I get it's WrestleMania. If Oba were to win the championship at Mania, I get it. It's the big event. That's where Cena won his first title. That's where Batista won the first title. That's where a lot of guys that were positioned in that spot, Austin, they won their first title at Mania and stuff. But it's also been shown that some others didn't have to win their first title for them to be positioned up, to be in that spot. I mean, we're talking about Oba being the face, but I mean, who doesn't know? They still might want Braun Breaker to be in that spot for all we know. I know it don't look like it right now, but we've all said since NXT 2.0, that was kind of like we were looking at that's going to be the next guy right there. So they still might want him in that spot. So I'm just looking at it from a business perspective. This isn't really about from a fan perspective. From a fan perspective, I think it'll be a little bit different. But from a business side, The Rock is a businessman. Triple H is a businessman. It don't matter how whoever feel about whoever thing today. It's about making money. And WWE has shown many, many times we ain't got to get along. We ain't got to like each other. But we got to make money. And we got to make sure that we stay a business. Triple H learned that from Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon had burnt bridges for years. And the one thing that I always told y'all on the podcast was, at the end of the day, they always come back. People who burn bridges with WWE, we've seen it for years. Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, all these people who they're dirty and the possible, they always come back somehow. They always find ways to mend these bridges, bro. They made a whole DVD tarnishing the Ultimate Warrior's legacy, trashing this nigga, bro. And he came back to be in the Hall of Fame. Bret Hart got screwed in his home country in the craziest way possible against his op, the guy he hated most in the company. CM Punk had all this beef with WWE. They come back. They always find ways to come back, bro. So WWE is a company that's always about burning bridges and making amends for doing what's better for the company's business. And now you got all these sponsors. You got ESPN. You got all these branding. You got all these sponsors involved, bro. I'm telling you, they pushing for that match, bro. I just don't see any Saudi Arabia WrestleMania for them not pushing for that.
And the point you said, the thing about the Saudi thing makes even more sense with the ESPN thing, because ESPN's gonna want to have a match that they could sell to the American viewer. Like, hey, I know it's morally gray, but like,
and they got the little watch along at MSG too. You know what I'm saying? The little watch along they're doing. They gonna want people to pull up for that. Like, this the match that's gonna do it. Like,
yeah,
Oba versus Roman would be great. You know what I'm saying? That's a great match, but that's not Rock and Roman. That's not the same. Like, this is a match that could be a match that could be bigger than Rock Cena. Like, that's the type of level we're talking about. So that's why I feel that's going to happen, because they've had opportunities to do it. Whatever reasons it didn't happen, business, creative, whatever the reasons didn't happen for it not to happen, whatever. But I feel like this next WrestleMania is like, this is it. We're either doing it next year or we're not doing it. That's how I'm feeling about it. And I just don't see them passing that up. Unless The Rock doesn't want to do it himself. Unless he just like, nah, I'm past it. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to do it. Then it won't happen. But I feel they've been talking about this for a minute. I feel they behind the scenes, they planning this shit out. They trying to figure out the best story, the best way to do it. Like, that's how I really see it. Like, it just because it's where it's at, I just can't see them not wanting to put that on Mania to do all the business they could possibly do.
I guess the last thing I'll say about it is, and this is just my final thoughts. I remember when it was right before COVID, and obviously they had to change it because WrestleMania 37 was the pandemic one. That's the one they had to be indoors.
Right. No, 36.
No, 36. 36 was the one that they had to do indoors. Right. So 37, all the locations for WrestleManias got pushed back a year.
Right.
So 37 ended up having to be in Tampa again because that was the one they could actually do with fans. And then 36 ended up being the pandemic one, right? The one inside the PC. I remember when they announced the next 3 WrestleMania locations before they had to shut everything down.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, we're going to do Tampa, we're going to do Dallas, we're going to do Hollywood. And in that moment, we saw Hollywood.
That was the perfect.
We saw Hollywood. That was supposed to be 38. It ended up being 39 because they pushed everything back. That was supposed to be 38. We saw Hollywood and we said, oh my gosh, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Easy. It's perfect opportunity. Then everything got pushed back a year. And we said, oh, well, that's just even more time to do it. I want y'all to realize that was 6 years ago. Really pushing 7 if we want to be technical. Pushing 7 because they announced it before the pandemic shut down. It was like late 2019, early 2020. That was damn near 7 years ago, guys. And for 7 years, only one of those years has The Rock actually pulled up to give us the hope of a Roman Rock match. And we all, rightfully so, picked the story they've been telling for 2 years. As you should. That was always the right decision. But we've been talking about this for 7 years, guys.
Well,
every year we get to Mania, oh, there's no way they don't want to do Rock and Roman. Rock even said out of his mouth when they could have done it at 39 instead of Roman Cody 1. When they could have done it at 39. They said, Rock himself said, yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like I was in shape. Even though he owns a gym and is in that hole every day. I get being in the gym ain't the same as in ring shape, but you had time if you wanted to. Because you made time when you came back the next year trying to ruin somebody else's story. So you had time if you wanted to. That's the only time The Rock has been here in the capacity of actually possibly giving us that match. So 1 year out of 7, guys. 1 year out of 7. And WrestleMania 40, we're going on 3 years from that. And he's only ever shown up once. My perspective, we've been talking about this for over half a decade. And the one time we were going to get it, we chose the rightful story. I don't think we're getting it anymore. We just keep, because I guarantee you, let's say we don't get it in Saudi. Let's say we don't get it in Saudi. We're going to be right back here this time
it's over
next
with
year.
at that point.
No, because it should have been over with after 40. After 40, there was a good amount of people on this pod, in this chat, and online talk about, yeah, we went with Cody. We're not getting Roman Rock anymore at all. And then we got to 41. Oh, it's in Vegas. Maybe we can get it there. Oh, that doesn't have the title anymore. Then we got to 42. They went back to Vegas. Oh, maybe we can do it there. We've been every year. I thought after 40, I thought it was done. I thought, okay, it didn't happen. We're done. And every year when we start getting to past SummerSlam, these talks start resurfacing again.
You want to know why?
And I understand it this time a little bit more.
It's a little different.
Because Saudi business.
Yeah.
I get it. Saudi business. I can feel you on that. But guys, we've been talking about this for over 6 years.
You want to know why though? Because it's the biggest match we've had since Rock Cena.
And we're not gonna get it. We've been talking about this for 7 years.
But there's been different layers to why we didn't have it.
There's only one layer I can understand. If we would have had it at 39, there's only one way that could have happened. Well, The Rock would have had to win the Royal Rumble because Roman had both titles at that point. Who would have wanted that? Which 39 Hollywood, that was the time. Because Cody was barely coming back.
That's what I'm saying. But who would have at that time been cool with The Rock winning the Royal Rumble
and winning both titles?
No. Well, Rock wouldn't have won, but
he would have had to.
No. I'm talking about The Rock wouldn't have won both titles. He wouldn't have won the match. But that was the only time because remember, guys, Cody Rhodes was out for months. The only reason we knew he was coming back for the Rumble officially is because they told us.
Right. But I'm saying,
that if Rock would have run because nobody else, let's be real, let's remember the landscape at that time. If it wasn't Cody versus Roman, who the fuck else was it going to be? Nobody else was on that level. So if Rock would have run the Rumble, would there have been people complaining that he won the Rumble and took it away from somebody else? Of course there was. Of course there was going to be people complaining. But let's be real. If we want to just be facts about it, the only reason Cody was the logical answer because nobody else was going to do it. Yeah, Gunther was in the final two, but Gunther was still IC champion. So we knew he wasn't going to win. That was just hey, we believe in Gunther. There was nobody else on the roster. Maybe Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre just came off the Clash in the Castle loss. There was nobody else on the roster that would have fought Roman. That's why at Hollywood would have been the perfect time. I've been on record saying I would have much rather than do Rock Roman at Hollywood, Rock Cody at 40. I mean, Roman Cody at 40. I would have much rather that because then you got to Hollywood and Cody just lost. Did it work out in the end? Yes. But at the time, we talk about this meme all the time. What did I do for the first 25 minutes of the show? I sat here with my New Orleans Saints shirt and my red Nike hat, pissed off. Because if Roman Reigns was just going to retain, The Rock should have been there. So that's what I'm saying.
Those are layers that were issues. That's what I'm saying at the time.
And it's been issues with him. It's The Rock.
It's not The Rock if he wins the Rumble. That's not his fault. That's just part of what has to happen at that time.
But he chose not to be there. I'm saying they could have done it. You're saying there was all these things that contributed to not be there. 75% of the time, it's because this bald nigga's lazy.
But it's different. I'm saying there's different layers of issues that you got to have, though. If Rock wins the Rumble, yeah, that makes sense. There's nobody else on the roster, but that's still a big issue, though, because that's not a match that he needs to win.
But okay, it's kind of like, I'll put it like this. It's kind of like, yes, it's an issue, but it wasn't as big of an issue when he tried to come back next year, ruining the story they've been telling for 2 years. That, to me, was a bigger issue than if he would have just won the Rumble for the 39 Mania, because, again, you look at the landscape of who Roman could have challenged, there was nobody else other than Cody. Let's just say Cody's pec wouldn't have recovered in time. Let's just say, for sake of conversation, Cody would not have been medically cleared and ready by the Rumble. Who the fuck else was going to challenge him? Nobody. We would have been looking like, damn, Roman's WrestleMania opponent's going to be real weak this year. When Cody was announced, we were like, okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind that because who else was going to do it? And Cody was the only one at the time because Roman had beaten everybody at that point. Cody took some time off because of the torn pec, and they hadn't had that match. So it was like, okay, cool. We can get behind this because it's something new. We haven't seen it yet. And there's a bunch of people, especially after they found out the torn pec was real, in real time,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but there was, like I still said, there were still issues and pillars there. If Roman wasn't double champion, it'd have been different because The Rock could have just came back and just challenged Roman without, and then whoever won the Royal Rumble could have challenged the other champion. But they had both titles on Roman, so the only way for him to get there is he has to win the Royal Rumble because he can't just come back and challenge the title.
It wouldn't have been perfect, but it would have been way more acceptable. I think that was the best time.
I mean, looking at it now, but in hindsight back then, I don't know. People would have said that.
People would have been
in hindsight now because we know what happened afterwards.
Well, I think people would have been mad at the way The Rock got there, but let's be real. When we knew it was in Hollywood, we were all waiting for Roman Rock. We said Hollywood's the best time to do it. If you're gonna do it at any time, do it for Hollywood because Hollywood Rock. That was. So if he would have won, yes, there would have been those people mad that he won the Rumble because part-timer, we know how we get when it comes to those. Everybody still got PTSD from Brock Lesnar. I get it. But 39, Hollywood was the 1 year. That's what we were expecting. That's what we were sitting there like, yeah, it's a part-timer, but let's go ahead and get Roman Rock out the way because it's in Hollywood. So it's kind of like the lesser of two evils. Yeah, he won the Rumble, but it's in Hollywood. We're getting Rock Roman. And then you can still build a year later the exact same thing. Everything Cody did. After 39, you could have done the exact same thing. Go win the tag titles with Jey Uso. Go beat Brock Lesnar in SummerSlam. Go feud with Judgment Day. Go beat Dom on a random show. You could have did everything the same. Everything.
I agree.
And then win the Rumble and challenge Roman at 40. You could have done everything the same.
But another reason that I think it's going to happen in Saudi next year is because a lot has changed also since that time frame. True. Especially with Raw and SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown now has become a show where you get a good opener and you get a closing, but it's mainly for social media clicks. They want people to watch them social media clips because they're very, very good at making. Let's say you didn't miss it. Let's say you missed an episode of Raw this week or SmackDown, whatever. They're very good at putting clips out on social media that you can watch. And you watch this clip, you're like, damn, that actually looked really good. I gotta go back and check out that segment. And you go back and watch the segment, you're like, oh, that wasn't really what all that was.
Show's ass.
They're very good at putting clips out on social media and getting the buzz. And that's what they cater to. That's what they want. That's why they've been adding Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee and Travis Scott and all this stuff. They want the social media clicks. It's exactly what Rock and Roman's gonna do. They're going to get them social media. They're going to get all the social media buzz. Talking about breaking all the records they want. That's what they care about right now in this modern era. And that's exactly the type of match Rock and Roman's going to do. You already know Rock going to bring in the Attitude Era fans, the past fans that want to see The Rock, who come back once a year just to watch his match. They're going to get all those people coming in, plus the newer fans. Like, I understand that it could have already happened. I agree with you. I would have done it at 39 and did Cody and Roman for the first time at WrestleMania 40, and you could have still did the exact same thing that way. That would have been perfect. But it didn't happen that way. And I just feel, knowing WWE as a business, they're going to, especially with TKO involved, they're money first. They're about giving money first and then everything else afterwards. Rock, Roman, bro, come on, man. That's going to be the biggest match the company will ever have. It's going to break records. It's going to be bigger than Rock, Cena, Rock. It's going to break all those records in every possible way. And like Lynn mentioned before, they on ESPN now.
Yeah, the ESPN thing's huge.
they got all this other stuff going on too. It's too much money wrapped around it involved. The only way this doesn't happen is if, hypothetically, Rock doesn't want it to happen. But I don't think Rock is against it happening. I think he wants to happen. It just has to line up for it in his mind for it to make sense to happen. And however, whatever story they're possibly going to tell, that's going to be up between The Rock, his creative team, and Roman Reigns. They're going to figure that shit out on their own. There ain't going to be anybody else involved but them. They're going to do what they feel is right for the story and the build. But we live in an era now where social media now takes over. They want the clip. WWE's production has always been top tier. They can make a promo package, make you believe that a match and a story was actually really good. They for us fans who watch every week, if you show somebody a promo package, they might watch and be like, damn, that actually looks pretty good. And you can be like, nah, that shit was ass though. Like I watched the build. I saw the match. That shit was ass. Promo package though, 10 out of 10. Make the shit look really good. I'm gonna lie to you. Everything we got with Roman and Seth, the Roman and Seth promo package, I could show that to my grandma. And just be like, watch it. This is the whole story you need to know. It tells you everything you need to know within this 3-minute time frame right here. She could watch it and be like, damn, that look really good. I might check that out. That's the era that we're in right now. They want the social media clicks and buzz, and I think they cater to that more now than opposing to giving us good quality shows on Monday Night Raw, because the social media clips go viral. They go I think that's what they're catering to now in this modern era. They want them viral. They want the viral moments. They want the viral clips. It's unfortunate that we're kind of in that time frame, but that's kind of the spot that we're in. If it was up to me, I would do Oba Roman at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. But I just feel tomorrow on Raw we're getting Oba versus Roman to stare down. I think they're gonna have that face off and they're gonna give that confrontation. Now, when they may not even confirm a match. Oba Femi could just be like, I'm coming after it now. I'm taking the title. He could just hint it.
Call
not
him
even,
out, yeah.
Yeah. He could just hint the little sprinkle of it right there. It's just, for me, it's just kind of like the only reason I'm having issues with Oba Roman at Mania is just not only because of the Rock situation. I don't know how they're going to extend that out as much as they can.
And the King of the Ring thing bothers me too.
I don't know what you're going to do with Oba from now until Mania. Because if he got King of the Ring and he's talking about, I'm going to wait till WrestleMania to do it. Nigga, what? That's almost half a year. That's a half a year. You waited for a King of the Ring spot. I'm cool with them. I'm cool with them doing the Brock stuff. But I'm fully expecting now that Oba did that to go after the title. There's nowhere else for him to go after this now.
So this is, yeah. So I'm trying to fantasy book in my head what I would do to make Oba still be in something relevant.
Who does he feud with from now to Mania? Who do you put him with?
And so if I'm fantasy booking in my head, obviously we don't know, but if Kevin Owens just came back from having a broke neck damn near, what I would do, because Money in the Bank is 2 months away, so that because we got to get to April, so that's 8 months. Money in the Bank is 2 months away, and then there's no pay-per-view in December, but obviously we have the Survivor Series, right? From December to January, he can just prep for the Rumble, like that's fine. So I would introduce the stare down with Roman.
Why would he be in the Rumble though? If he's telling us King of the Ring?
Well, this is where I'm going with it. I would introduce the stare down with Roman. I would set up the match, and Drew McIntyre would cost him.
I would have Drew
cost over, because he could feel, even though he hates Roman, he could feel like Oba is in the spot Drew should be in. I used to be that. I had this, that. Even though I would hate that he lost, it would be understandable. It can be a DQ Claymore. That way Oba doesn't get pinned, but I would let it be. And that way it gives him time to do something else heading into WrestleMania. Now that Oba has already had a loss, him taking one more by the likes of a Drew McIntyre, I wouldn't hate. If Oba was still undefeated, we'd be in a different conversation, but he already has a loss. So it is what it is. That's what I would do to buy him time. And then he'd be like, I'm done with Drew now. Maybe the day one Netflix can be their final match. The first Netflix of the year. I'm ready for the Rumble, wins the Rumble. And then once you win the Rumble, you got 2 months to just watch Roman. Now, is Roman going to be in the Elimination Chamber? Fuck no. But that's 2 months of building this story with Roman, getting there, da-da-da-da-da-da. And Roman can try to sun him like, have you ever won this? Have you ever competed one of this? Kind of the same thing with the Cody. But now Oba can be like, but here's the difference. I'm not Cody. I'm the mountain you cannot climb. I am the ruler, blah, 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 blah. He can do all that. That is what I would do to bypass the time. Because Gunther's on SmackDown now, so I can't have a Gunther feud. I can't have that feud that I would have wanted. So I would bring Drew McIntyre back to literally buy me 2 to 3 months of time.
Drew better than the Bloodline. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
The only person in the Bloodline I'd be cool with him feuding with is Jacob Fatu. That's the only person.
Yeah, but it's like, would Drew do that though? Like he gonna cost Oba after him and Roman been through all that. Like
I'm not gonna lie, that nigga been jobbing to everybody. If they tell him to do it, he gonna do it. What else he gonna do?
But I'm saying, would it make sense though
to his character?
For Drew McIntyre, a little bit, yes. I think they can make it work. I think Drew's good enough to make it work. If Drew's motivation is you're the next big thing, but I was supposed to be that. I hate the fact, or he can go back to this nobody's gonna beat Roman Reigns but me gimmick. He can go that, but like that's a little stretching it too far. But I think it would, because on Raw, that's the only person of equal footing that I feel like would be interesting enough to, because you just got off a feud with Brock Lesnar. I don't want to see you feud with Ethan Page, or like you need somebody else that's kind of on that level. Drew, it can't be Gunther anymore. Drew is the only other person that I feel like could be on that level.
So predicting it right now, who's Roman fighting next? It's either LA Knight or Oba Femi. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it really is.
It's probably LA Knight.
You don't think it's Oba at all?
I really don't. I think they're gonna keep teasing it, but I don't think. I just don't believe in Rock Roman, because if you don't do Roman Oba, your only other option is Roman Rock, and I just don't believe they're doing it. I don't believe it.
I got my next 2 Roman matches.
Go ahead.
LA Knight at Saturday night's main event to get him out the way, and then Oba Femi at Money in the Bank.
Roman Reigns is not wrestling at a Saturday night's main event, and they already confirmed his dates. He's not going to be there.
Oh damn!
He's not going to be there. They already confirmed his dates. So
I was trying to poo on LA Knight.
That nigga is not wrestling at no Saturday night main event. He only was there because it was Madison Square Garden. I promise you, if that shit was in fucking Duval, he would not be there.
Duval.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get off here, last thing I'm going to ask y'all: so far of the year, what's been the best match WWE's had all year, in your opinion?
I actually have a 3 because I had a feeling we were going to talk about that. My 3 matches in WWE so far this year: Roman Punk, Roman Seth tonight, Mask versus Mask. Those are the top 3 matches WWE has put on this year.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wouldn't be mad at whoever you said number 1. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody just said something that I think Oba can.
not Big Cass versus Oba, bro. Stop.
What happened to Big Cass versus Seth Rollins?
I'm just saying that's something that they could do. I
wouldn't be shocked. Gosh, Big Cass. Now the best match is either for me is Punk or Roman, or Mask versus Mask.
I would say best match of the year so far has been Mask versus Mask. El Grande versus El Grande. Roman versus Punk has been really good. Roman and Seth was really good as well. But I would say the best match of the year, Mask versus Mask. What's been the most, if you had to pick one, the most disappointing match of the year so far?
Randy Cody.
I mean, I guess by default, yeah.
Randy and Cody's your answer?
Just as a Cody fan, I expected more.
What's your answer?
Honestly, it might be that, just because of like everything around it. That should have been a clear cinema match, and we had bullshit. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely the most disappointing.
I'm gonna go a different answer. I'm actually gonna say recent. I'm gonna say Hell in a Cell, Brock and Oba. I felt that was like supposed to be more than what we got. The outcome was
trying to get out of there.
The outcome was right. You know what I'm saying? The Brock putting Oba over was fantastic. You know, that was great. Brock doing business. You know, that was all great. But when the match ended, I just felt it was starting to pick up, and I felt like we left a lot more on the table that could have been like that match could have been something different than Hell in a Cell. That could have been a steel cage. That could have been a street fight. That could have been something different. But that did not feel like a Hell in a Cell match, especially coming off of what they built back Hell in a Cell up to be over the years with Edge versus Seth Rollins, Cody versus Seth, Punk versus Drew, like these Hell in a Cell matches that we've had the last few years that made it feel like a Hell in a Cell again. And then we got that. That did not feel like anything special right there. It really felt very underwhelming. It wasn't a terrible match, but it definitely felt when it ended, it felt like there was more that could have happened.
For sure. For sure. I definitely felt that way. He tombstones him on the wood, and I'm like, okay, you didn't even powerbomb him on the wood. And when it was over, I was like, damn, it's over already? Like,
Yeah.
I feel you on that. That's a great answer because I think we talked about it not being as long, but I think the Brock thing, putting him over, really overshadowed that. So that's a good point.
All right. Well, make sure you guys subscribe, like, share. We'll be back next week. We're going to do a recap of the 2000s, the good and the bad of the 2000s era. We'll obviously probably talk a little bit about what happens tomorrow, too, as far as like what Roman does and open stuff. But make sure you guys tune in next week. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share to the No Name Wrestling Podcast. We appreciate you guys for being a part of the community, man. Appreciate all the support and everything. And we'll be back next week. Y'all have a good night and stay safe as usual.